block and you can shot. Better watch out, cause the cops hot. We shoot shots if we see the eye. You can't ball if you ain't got no hustle. I keep my grind on, fuck the struggle.
What's up, sports fans? It's your man D back. Speak Your Mind Sports Talk. All right, check it out, man. Got some open boxing talk. I was getting ready to go live on my phone because for some reason StreamYard was having some issues. But, you know, open boxing talk for the love of sports. Let's talk about it. So, let me see here. We got Ray in the building on bias. What's up, fam? I ain't even put the link in the chat yet, but I'm getting ready to. I'm going to talk Fury and, you know, what to expect for boxing coming here. I think Japan getting ready to set stuff up is going to open some doors. Boxing Monster, what's good with you, fam? Willie Boy Slip and Move, what's up, dog? Put this link in the chat right quick, fellas. Nova Soka, what's good with you? Timmy Needland in the building. What's up, Timmy? I see darkness is falling out there. What's good, fam? Appreciate y'all coming through. All right, there we go. I mean, not really. Just open boxing talk, man. I'm gonna shoot off some topics and just start to talk about them. We got a lot, you know, a lot of stuff going on. But I mean, you can ask questions if you want. I just put the link in the chat though, so anybody who want to jump on can jump on. But first I was gonna start off with this whole issue with Japan talking about opening up boxing. I think coming May next month. And they talking about the social distancing and the mask and all of that. You know, I don't know, like for the boxers themselves, I'm pretty sure they can't go in the ring with masks or anything like that. They're going to be sweating and getting cut. So still going to be some issues. But if Japan could figure out a way to get us boxing in in May, then I think that might be good for the whole sport, because just like, you know, you had a trickle down effect with basketball, all the combat sports will catch on to whatever plans they have to get these fights going, and they'll try to get theirs going too. So it could be a good thing. What's up, Unbiased?
Ain't nothing, man. I was just gonna jump on for a little bit. I'm kind of busy, but I just want to show support. Anybody listening, smash the like button. What you talking about today, D?
Anything and everything. But I just started off talking about that situation with Japan possibly bringing us boxing in May. I was saying that it could open up the door for a lot more, because if they have a successful event, then these other organizations are going to jump on board. You know what I mean? So it could just open so we could start actually talking about fights. And even if it doesn't go well, we can at least talk about the fights that happen there, because I'm pretty sure no matter if people know about them or not, most true boxing fans are going to be watching those fights because it's the only boxing we have.
That's a fact. I agree. You know what I'm saying? Because, right? Oh, shit. Am I still here, D?
Yeah. I can hear you loud and clear.
Okay. My bad. I exited by accident. But, yeah, I agree, man. Boxing fans right now, we're hungry for any fight. You know what I'm saying? So we definitely going to pay attention to that fight for sure. I agree. But I heard you say in your earlier video today about the whole Tyson Fury AJ thing, and I'm 100% with you on this topic, man. It's a 50-50 fight. You got Tyson Fury fanboys out here, not saying you, because I know you're not a Tyson Fury fanboy. You could be objective to the guy that you like, but you got the Tyson Fury fans out here saying that, oh, AJ definitely get his ass beat because of the Ruiz fight. It's like, nah, come on, man. And then the AJ fanboys are saying that AJ indefinitely is going to destroy Fury. I don't see that neither.
Nah,
It's going to be a competitive fight. I could see ways that both of them could win. That's why I say it's 50-50. I can't even. Exactly.
And I don't care, like, I've been saying this consistently because I knew that this story was going to come. We were going to have to talk about those two guys because Wilder's pretty much out of the picture, whether they want to accept it or not. You know what I mean? He's pretty much done at this point. Let me give some shout outs. Samuel Shaw was good. Charles D. What's up, fam? Appreciate y'all coming through. But yeah, Wilder is pretty much done. So eventually the talk was going to come down to these two guys for Undisputed. And I just noticed that it's already starting. I hear the AJ fanboys, and then you even got some of the Wilder fans that, you know how it goes. They just don't want to see the downfall of Fury. So you got some of these Wilder fans that's talking nonsense about Fury. What's up, Lisa? So I just put that out there early. I mean, bro, it's going to be a lot more. You already know, a lot more lives. I'm probably going to have to do a lot more videos defending my guy Fury because that's just what happens, bro. To boost another fighter, a lot of people will discredit, their opponent or what they've done. And that's what we're going to start to hear about Fury. It was all good for the court case and the PEDs and all of that to be pushed aside when it comes to his beating ass on Wilder. But watch when it comes to this fight with AJ, all of those things are going to resurface and people are going to use that to dismiss what he's done. You understand what I'm saying? It's going to be.
They're doing it to him right now. They're trying to dismiss everything he's done. I've heard people even say, "Oh, well, since we know he was on PEDs, that Klitschko win, like, was he on PEDs then? He looked very unfit." Like the Wilder fans right now, what they're trying to do is just discredit Fury to the maximum, and they would love if AJ went in there and knocked Fury out because their guy couldn't do it. So they're going to look at anything.
I think it's a fine line between that. Tim Dub, what's good with you? Jay, what's up, Jay? Appreciate you coming through. I think it's a fine line with that. Unbiased. Here's my thing with that. Gretna, I see you out there. What's up, Gretna? Some of them would, and some of them wouldn't. This is why I say that. Like, let's take BFTV for example. They hate Anthony Joshua so much. They will want Fury to knock him out too. Just to say this, he won't know better than Wilder. You understand what I'm saying? Or they will want Fury to win that fight. To have those diehards, like you say, that will want to see Fury lose just because they beat their boy. So it's going to be a fine line between that. Because some of them are so diehard Wilder fans, they're just going to want to see the death of Fury regardless of what happens. You know what I mean? Because he beat the shit out.
That's a good point. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That's a solid point right there.
What's up, fam? Iron Calm. What's good? Junior Moreno. Iceman in the building. I see you. But yeah, bro, you know how it going, boys. We're going to deal with a whole lot of shit. And I'm welcoming it, to tell you the truth. I already know this coming. I'm welcoming this shit. Come on with it. Yeah. I already know that it's coming. And shit, all right. Every sport is trying to figure out how to get back on TV without getting backlash because the ratings are. Yeah, for sure. That's a fact. What's up, LA? Since I just came to your comment, let me see here. Junior Moreno.
Yo, D, I got a question.
Yeah, go ahead.
How do you how'd you put your intro music before you start the show? How'd you do that?
I don't know. Hold on for a second. Let me get.
What the hell is that?
I don't know. You know me, bro. I just let everybody come on, and that was just somebody that I had to kick off. I'm gonna hit you up after the. People will figure it out, but we're gonna keep that one on the wraps until they figure it out.
All right.
I'm gonna hit you up on the low, dog.
Yeah,
we're gonna have that exclusive for a little bit, and then they'll figure it out. What's up? All right?
What did it do, fam?
Shit, man. You know, same old. I'm just talking some shit about the landscape of boxing now that Japan might loosen up the fight scene, for really for combat sports in general. Now that Japan may loosen up the fight scene, these other networks and organizations will follow suit to what they're doing if they have a successful event. What do you think about
Right. Shit. I mean, it's a good situation, but we still got to see how the American base is going to be able to put together some fights because we a little bit behind where they at right now. You feel me? You got to remember they got hit first, so they had a
it?
lot
Yeah,
of
yeah,
chance. They had a lot of time to get shit settled. We still going through that phase right now, so
yeah. And we just passed China yesterday as far as deaths, the death toll.
yeah, yeah. And
Which,
I was reading some other shit about
that's what the media says, so you know how that goes.
Right. I
Yep.
was reading something about one of the states or one of the towns in the state saying that they is ordering motherfuckers to stay inside to the end of the summer. Like I was like, what the fuck?
Man, a lot of those orders are out all around. But to be perfectly honest, bro, people are overlooking that shit. Like I'm staying in the house for the most part. You know, I go out and try to get groceries and such, but I stay in the house for the most part. And bro, it's just it's crazy.
What the fuck? What is that, bro?
That's the kid Justin, bro. That's why, man. I I gotta kick that little. He got so many accounts, bro.
What the
It's
fuck?
annoying as fuck, bro. He got like a bunch of accounts, and I already kicked him out, banned him from every account. But it's just like a process, and then fucking I unsubscribe
Yo,
to the channel and all that shit. He's an
I was
annoying kid.
about that coronavirus shit. China seems to said pretty much they have it, on lock right now. The deaths went down tremendously. They got it under control. I just feel like Americans are kind of not that smart. You know what I'm saying? We're like when people said, "All right, don't go out and don't do this." People instead feel like, "Oh, it's martial law, so I'm going to go everywhere," and that pretty much got everybody sick. Like, and it just continues to spread. Whereas like the people in China, Japan, they listened to the government, didn't think it was like a conspiracy theory. They listened to the government, didn't think it was a conspiracy theory, and they got it cleaned out like faster because of that. Whereas we're not going to do that.
The problem with the United States, though, there always are agendas and conspiracies behind what our government does. And it's a known fact, bro. They cover up so much and they do so much bullshit and hide so much shit from the public. It's hard to trust them. And then, like, so Raider said, "How did we pass China? Something don't make sense." That's my opinion on that too, bro. And I was just saying that, like, it just doesn't make sense that we passed them that quick. Um, Even with what's going on, the simple fact of the matter is that there are agendas behind these things. So I don't even want to get into that. Angel Santos, what's good with you, fam? Chin Smoke. But yeah, man, I do think like so when we look at the American scene as far as combat sports, right? And you see what's happening over there in Japan, and I agree with gun rights. That they are a lot farther ahead of us. Thanks for coming on, Unbiased. He said he had to dip anyway. They are a lot farther ahead of us, but we got the UFC. So whatever Dana White has planned, and then whatever they have planned in Japan, that gives them two avenues to try to duplicate what happened. You see what I mean? Because if Dana White can get this UFC 249 to go through, and he's been consistent saying that it's going to go through,
I
that's
mean, but it's
two.
just a little different, I see, because with boxing, you got to have a lot of people flying in to be a part of the scene. You feel
It's
what
the
I'm
same.
saying?
It's the same with mixed martial arts, man.
Well,
It's
yeah, yeah, I know, but it's more controlled by one person, is what I mean, as
oh well,
opposed
yeah,
to
yeah.
these different networks gotta, is a part of it. It's a lot that goes into boxing, a little bit more than one person
Yeah, yeah,
controlling the
you're right.
sport.
You're
You
right.
feel me? Khabib right now, I mean, shit, he quarantined. He can't even
Yeah,
fight.
he can't fight.
Yeah.
That fight with him and Ferguson was
So
terrible.
no matter how we look at it, the whole boxing game is all gonna come back to where the fuck this virus is in American base because that's where the most of our boxing is getting staged at. Well, was staged at. If it wasn't staged in other countries, and you got to think what UK was the last people to get shut down, right? They was like the last country to get shut down, if I'm not
Uh,
mistaken.
yeah, between them and us, probably.
Yeah, yeah. Well, you know, when we got shut down, they said you could still fly to the UK, but you couldn't fly to Italy and some of the other places. So I think the UK was one of the last people to get shut down. So you got to think that it's still going to take them a little bit more time. They're a little bit further behind from where we at as far as trying to catch up to stopping it. Like Bias said, having it in a stage where it's controlled right now to where they can start getting shit back moving. We still slowly but surely shutting shit down. We ain't even shut everything down yet. You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So some states they still locking. You feel me?
Yeah, man. I mean, it's the same thing. I mean, like I said here, in Columbus, we have the order out. Governor DeWine put the order out. But man, I go to work and I still see people out jogging and shit. You know what I mean? And to be perfectly honest, I feel like we got way too many customers still coming through the donut shop. So it is what,
Hell yeah.
you know
I
what I mean?
mean, it's about my whole thing is that when everybody else come back outside, it's still gonna be a few motherfuckers lingering around with the shit. So if they saying if it's true what they saying about the virus is gonna be in our lives like a cold is today, then eventually everybody gonna get the shit anyway.
Yeah, but yeah, I don't know, bro. Could be, maybe not.
Because right now we don't even know who really got it.
Yeah, that's a fact. And we don't know how people get it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, some people got it and don't even know that they got it because they feel fine. So that's another hard thing. I mean, nigga, when you catch a cold, you start sneezing, your throat start pitching or something. But if they saying you can catch this and not even feel no symptoms for up to
Yeah,
14 days, that's crazy.
I was looking at this little I guess testimonial why people had it, and everyone who's caught it has caught symptoms, bro. I see again, like gun rights. I'm one of these people that don't rely on everything that they put out in the media, bro.
Oh no, never that, bro. Never
So,
that.
I mean, and a lot of the information is being released for a purpose. And so I don't really go on all of that stuff that's being released. One thing about vaccinations in general, because of money control purposes, and just the big,
Ain't no money in the cure, homie. We all know that. The real niggas know ain't no money in the cure.
It's no money in a cure, but what you have to understand is there's money in vaccinations. What's up, Eric? You understand what I'm saying? The pharmaceutical companies are going forward.
Yeah, but we know that that's not really no cure, though. You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah,
I'm talking about that shit that Magic Johnson took.
Yeah,
that's the shit that you ain't got access to, but that shit costs money if you did have.
Go right. Look at the point I'm getting at. I feel you. We're on the same page with that. But what I'm telling you about the vaccinations is this: the vaccinations make money for pharmaceuticals.
Of course, yeah, of course.
So the key is, the point is to get people vaccinated. But if we think back to the Spanish flu, that thing incubated and changed. It morphed into something else that was 10 times worse than what the initial thing was. Vaccinations, bro, will cause reactions to that. So whatever we have here now is just the beginning. When that shit gets and resurfaces and spreads again,
we just going through the first wave right now. That's pretty much it. Yeah, we're going through the first wave.
Something else. If it changes into something else worse, first and foremost, whatever vaccination they put inside of you is going to be immune to that. That's how.
Yeah, I ain't never took no vaccine, so
that's how
I know niggas who did.
So it'll be immune to whatever vaccine they stick inside of you. And what I'm saying is, with the vaccine that they stick inside of you, what are the chances that whatever it morphs to that's not going to cause it to react quickly? Yeah. So, again, bro,
I don't see nothing going back to normal for at least to the beginning of next year. That's just my outlook of what all the sports, and as far as boxing, as far as like the economy getting back up, rocking again, and people getting back up, feeling comfortable to get outside. Because you still gonna have motherfuckers gonna be afraid even when we come back outside to go to certain places just because the epidemic was so great in those places other than others, like New York. I got some motherfuckers out here in Vegas talking about, bro, I'm not going back to New York for a long time, bro.
No, hell no. That's way too crowded. Way too crowded there. Charles D said, you got to Google the coronavirus on Alexa. The answer is crazy. I don't know, bro. What did it say, Charles? I never even heard that. I'm not letting them jump on Charles. He come on with different fucking profiles and shit, dog. I can't do shit about that. This kid, he sits at home. Now we on quarantine, bro. He just got, you know how these kids are. You got all day to fucking sit there and make 1,000 fucking profiles. So,
hey, did you hear something about Charlo fighting Canelo or something? Did you hear something about that?
No. Showbiz the adult. He had a
My
video,
boy texted me.
like
I don't
the
know.
deal is done and all of that shit. But you got to watch the video. It was an April Fool's joke. That motherfucker was throwing an April Fool's joke out there. It's pretty funny.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it was pretty funny. It was a joke, but just April Fool's shit, you know. But I already knew that was some bullshit. As soon as he put it up, I went and clicked. I was like, "What are you talking about?" Because I ain't seen or read or heard nothing about that shit. Everybody would have. It would have been fucking 1,000 videos about.
Yeah, motherfuckers was calling me. I'm like, hell no. Hell no. How we go from Billy Joe to Canelo to GGG now it's fucking Charlo, nigga?
See, look, bro, he just can't. You can't even see backstage, but he backstage now with another profile that say Dwayne Johnson. Before this, he came BFTV boxing, and I knew it won't be FTV because that motherfucking little troll ain't leaving that fucking graveyard. So I knew it was him again, but he back again with Dwayne Johnson. Kick his
that
ass.
nigga acting like a fan, and that nigga acting like a fan, like old boy off a Bodyguard with Whitney Houston. That nigga acting like a straight crazy ass fan.
I mean, when he start doing that shit, I pretty much know when it's him because I got certain people who come join the lives. You know what I mean? And he come with names I don't recognize or put it in a way where.
Hey, what you think about that interview with Boo Boo and Eddie Hearn?
Oh yeah, bro. I didn't even watch that yet, but you see that shit. My package will be arriving soon. That's my motherfucking computer, man. I ordered that shit. Look at this kid, bro. Justin, get out of here, bro. Go play with your Legos or something. Stop coming and getting on. You know what I mean? This nigga still trying. Hey, Raider, jump on right quick, Raider. I want to ask you something.
Yeah, he was saying that he would move up to 168 to fight Billy Joe. That's the only person that he named when they asked.
I think Billy Joe should. Let's talk about that right quick because the BBOC or whoever the fuck suspended his license, bro. That's kind of ridiculous. Look, man, it was a bad joke, right? I get that. It was stupid. It was ignorant. It was a bad joke, right? But really, bro, they gonna suspend this man license? Like, it's not. I don't think that there's a chance it stops the fight, but I don't think necessarily that it stops the fight because Raider, you on two goddamn?
What's up?
What's up, Raider? See this kid. See your dumbass Justin. Raider from LA is up here, so he's backstage again, and it says Raider. He's trying to get on under your name.
Oh boy, yeah, you can tell my logo.
Yeah, that's what I could tell after he starts doing that dumb shit. I could tell that it's him actually doing it because y'all's logo and all of that shit. What's up, 1-2 kid?
It was going on. Hey, I'll jump on that a little bit. I gotta do some shit real quick.
All right, that's what's up, fam.
All right, thanks.
All right, so
what up, Charles?
What you think about all that? She heard what we was talking about 1-2
about the virus.
Well, we was talking about that, and I mean, you can say your piece on that. I want to get the boxing, but yeah, you can say your piece on that too.
Well, whatever you want to do, man. It's your platform, man. I'm just visiting.
Well, I mean, we can talk about whatever. I mean, it doesn't really matter.
I did see a small documentary on it about I think it was hey babe. She ain't paying attention. She got headphones on. What was that documentary you watched? When was that dated? Remember the one on the virus? Remember? What they were I guess it was they were talking like it was built in Canada. And somebody was in there and a Chinese lady was working there and they all got kicked out and locked out because they were taking the virus out and sending it back to China. So I mean, like, and also in the documentary, I seen that it was an unnatural virus. Like the genetic makeup of it was unnatural. Like there was certain things put into it so it would attach itself to people.
Yeah.
Weird, man.
Go read up on Charles Lieber from
All right.
Harvard.
Yeah, I'll check it out.
He going to a federal case now.
All right, I'll
Because
check it out.
he lied and said that he wasn't working with the Chinese scientists right now. So because he lied, they trying to get him on some fair shit.
Yeah, that's
it.
crazy.
Shit's
That's
no
crazy.
joke.
Justin, go away, bro. Go the fuck away. Go play with your
I only
legs.
said that because D said something about the Spanish flu, and that kind of it brought up a light bulb in my head when he said something about the Spanish flu. It's crazy because that dude Charles Lieber took the fucking Spanish flu and mutated that shit into something else on another project. So the fact that he in the mix on this is just, like I said, I don't believe in coincidences, bro. I believe in divine order. So
Right.
That's what I'm telling you, bro. When that shit, whatever COVID-19 is now, when it comes back COVID-22, that shit's gonna be 10
that's
times.
crazy. You just said COVID-20, COVID-22. They just said COVID. It's a mutated COVID-20. That shit gonna be like COVID-25 by the time we get done with this shit.
And that's the thing, man. When you start messing with things like that with nature, it start mutating on its own, and then you can't do nothing to stop it.
My whole point is, why the fuck you gonna go tamper with another with a disease anyway that wiped out a gang of people? Why the fuck even tamper with the shit?
I know they be cloning certain food and shit, and you can't even plant the shit no more. And they got the seed, but you got to reuse it. Their seed that they clone because it doesn't grow by itself anymore.
That's that company that I was talking about, Monsanto's. Really dirty company, bro.
That's some dirty shit. Like you messing with nature. You messing with you playing God.
But
you can, but don't think about whether you should or not.
GMOs and all of that shit.
Yeah, we was talking about that on your channel one time, or the old channels you had.
Greed is a motherfucker.
Yeah. So 1, 2. What do you think about? We were talking about how Japan is getting ready to open up and probably try to figure out a way to hold an event, and then with Dana White too in the UFC. You think that could open the door for us? I think it could open the door for boxing, but it could also make things worse. But what's your thoughts on that?
Man, I look at it like this, man. If that stuff is out there and we gonna get it anyway. We shouldn't. I mean, keep your eyes open on what you're doing and be aware. But you know what I mean. At the same time, man, don't die on the inside too. You know what I'm saying? Like where you ain't doing nothing, man. Everybody gotta live. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like shit, man. Shit. We roll the dice every time we walk out the house anyway.
Yeah. The Spanish flu, and I'm not really saying this to scare anyone, but what's up, official? The Spanish flu took out a third of the world population. It was like 1.5 billion people back then, right? So if you think about it now, it's like 7.6 billion now, something like that. And if you think about that now, bro, that's like 3.7 something billion. I'm sorry, 2.7 something billion people that thing could take out, bro.
You know what was scary about the Spanish flu though is it traveled around the world 3 times and there were no flights and people weren't shipping stuff like that back then. It was just boats.
Nah, it's just the black and mild, Dr. Mario.
It was just boats, man. So for that thing to move that way and go across the world 3 times over is crazy. You know
you know that this COVID is actually moving at a more rapid pace.
Well, there's a lot more people.
Yeah. The world's a lot more congested, but
and motherfuckers is moving around more.
Yep.
Yeah.
And they
Motherfuckers is
got
moving
flights.
around more.
You
Yep.
got fucking planes and shit
Yep.
everywhere. They didn't have all that shit
Yep.
back then, you know. So, and that's just the alarming fact on it. But hey, man, like I said, it is what it is. But what you think about if they can get that event to go through successful and the UFC too? I just think that that's two avenues that they can study and do what they can to duplicate it, and it might open up all the combat sports. I mean,
Well, I mean, if they're careful on how they do it, I don't see why not. You know, I'm just saying, you know, just dot your I's and cross your T's and make sure you're doing it correctly. And I don't see no issue with it. I mean, you can't catch it over the television. You can't
well,
catch it over a computer. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, what's the big deal? Why can't we get a show and bring some joy to ourselves? Because that's another thing too. If you do get sick and you depressed, that's going to be 10 times worse.
yeah.
You know what I mean? That brings your own immune system down. So get some people some, give them some happy, man. Ain't nothing wrong with that. Little excitement.
And
Everybody,
I think that if they can pull it off, that this is going to draw a hell of a lot of fans to boxing because okay, so like this is why I say this. Okay, so combat sports, kickboxing, UFC, Muay Thai, they can all follow this platform because it's basically two guys in the cage or in the arena or the ropes fighting, right? Even WWE, they can follow whatever platform. But the other sports, they're not going to be able to jump on board like soccer and football and basketball. There's too many people. You understand what I'm saying? So
yeah.
they're not going to be able to jump on board with the same platform. So what's going to happen is it's going to open up like the eyes to a lot of people because it's only going to be very few sports to watch, and this is going to be one of them. And a
Yeah.
sports fanatic, whether it's boxing, whatever, is a sports fanatic. Me personally, I'm a sports fanatic. I like fucking so many sports. There's a lot of other people like me. And even if they're not interested in boxing, if that's the only sport on, they like, fuck it, I gotta watch something. And then that's gonna bring a lot of people to boxing. I mean, that's just how I see it. Oh no, it's all good, unbiased. It's all good, fam. What's up, IBT? So I think that it could be a good thing. I think that it's potentially dangerous. But if they could, like you said, 1-2 kid, if they could keep it down to a minimum and keep people safe, I think that it could be a good thing, bro.
Yeah, it could. And then
The
they can
only
spread the
thing that
word.
they would have to do is they would have to get whatever governor of the state to sign off of it. If they can do that, then we all good to go. Because at the ultimate end, it's gonna come down to the decision of them in order to stage some type of event like that. Unless you just not gonna have nobody up in there, you just gonna have the trainers and the two fighters and nobody in the arena as far as the seating goes. They might be able to do that, but I can tell you right now, ain't none of that shit going on out here in Vegas. You feel me? Governor already said he don't give a fuck about nobody losing money. He don't give a fuck about what's going on. Lives is way more important than sports, gambling. What else he said? He said social gatherings.
Yeah.
Any of that shit going on, nigga. He don't give a fuck about Steve Wynn, Warren Buffett losing money. None of that shit. Everything got shut down. I'm just telling you out here in Vegas. I don't know what it is in your state.
That's how Governor DeWine is here.
So for you to bring back boxing, you got to convince him beyond recognition that you deserve to be able to hold an event in that certain city. Well, I'm just talking about here. You definitely not getting it here no time soon. I told people look towards September or October in Vegas to be looking at anything cracking off out here. You feel me?
Well, but there's I mean, as to not bringing a lot of people, man, there's plenty of places where they can hold these events and not endanger anybody too. Like I think Roy Jones got I watched him. He was doing an interview and he was training, and he had like a sealed off room where you can relax and stuff, but watch guys fighting and sparring through the glass and shit. And all you would have to do is have motherfuckers in next to the ring, but just in little suits and stuff and doing their thing and with the cameras and stuff, and you can still hold a great televised event where you can still get great footage and stuff like that, not from behind the glass. Just certain spectators could be behind the glass, but to just watch it like that, that would be fine too. Like,
To
like
me,
Yeah, there's a way to do
bro,
it. I guarantee you, there's a way to do
they
it.
could green screen the room out and fucking make an audience.
yeah, they could put that's
Just for the
But
ambience. You know what I
they,
mean? They could green
they
screen
need
the
to
room out.
master that though, because if that shit start fucking up mid fight, people gonna be pissed.
See, it don't matter. They just shut it down and make it all, make sure
Yeah.
it's all black or whatever. I mean, shit, bro, they can figure that shit out. I mean,
Yeah,
the
they
biggest
can.
thing would be if they were able to get it done.
Yeah,
I think it's going to be massive. Not just for boxing, but for all combat sports like UFC, Bellator, Rec, cage fighting, Fight Force. All of that shit's going to be on the rise, bro. Because you know how this is going to be a fucking phenomenon.
yeah, and you know what? All the money gonna be there because everybody gonna be tuned in.
They're going to get super fucking crazy ratings and pay-per-views. If people talk about pay-per-views out the door, COVID might have saved that.
Every time they land a punch, they could press the applause button.
Hey man, COVID might have saved that goddamn pay-per-view model. I'm gonna say that right now. And
Yeah.
I bet you any money, the longer COVID goes on, fuck that shit the zone talking about. I bet you they hop on that pay-per-view model. They ain't gonna let all that money pass by them. Watch they slide into this how they gonna slide into it. It's gonna be like a co-promotional deal. And then they're gonna, allow pay-per-view to come through somehow. I'm telling you, man, watch what's gonna happen.
Yeah, but I mean, it's not that too difficult to disinfect certain things where just a few people are gonna be, and then they just tape a line where they can go. You know what I'm saying? So that they can disinfect it afterwards, and they can come in with some hazmat suits and shit like that.
And,
Perform
and,
this shit.
I gotta be honest with you. Like, I hear you with the hazmat suits, but I think that it's kind of ridiculous that they allow me to go to a donut shop,
Oh yeah,
prepare a few food, and hand it out. But they can't make this happen. Like, come on.
right, exactly.
You know what I mean? That's ridiculous. Because
That's another thing too,
they're
man.
handling fucking food, bro. Like,
People out there doing minor things on the regular that people consider minor, but they're risking their lives to do small jobs. You know what I'm saying? Just things so that they can get through these times and stuff and hold on to a job in the process. And I
people
think
gotta survive, bro.
yeah,
Survive. That fucking no, I'm not. I'm gonna talk about that, Immortal. I'm actually not really. The thing is, like, that $1,200. That what the fuck is that gonna do? That's 1 month's rent. Then what you gonna do for next month? They give
right.
$1,200, but that shit. But like a lot of these mortgage companies and stuff are working with people. Like my mom's mortgage company, for example, I was talking to her the other day. Her mortgage company has suspended mortgages until the COVID-19 situation is under control. So she's not even having to pay mortgages right now. So, that's huge help for a lot of people because
That's how it is out here too.
yeah. So some people just that they don't have the income,
right. But that also goes for your budgeting outside of everything you do, so that when there is a rainy day like now, you're all right. You know what I mean?
Bro,
smart.
I wouldn't imagine too many people should be. I mean, unless they drug addicts, should have too many reasons to go broke because you can't do shit. It ain't like you go out to the fucking club or movies or you know what I mean. You can't really go spending money right now.
True. That helps.
I mean, shit. Like you can't travel, you can't do shit. It's not like what the fuck you gonna spend money? Like right now is really the best time. Get this smoke. What's up with you, fam? Is the best time for people to save money. If you're considered a central employee and you're locked down, then you guys should be stacking money like a motherfucker right now. Because what you can do, you can buy food and stay in the fucking house. So you got to be able to save money right now. I mean, I was on a savings plan when it was plenty to do. So now it's just an influx of money because there's no Saturdays with the wife and all of this other shit. Taking my 9-year-old out Wednesday and all of that shit. I might spend $60 to $100 at fucking Chuck E. Cheese for the love of God. You know what I mean? So who knows, bro? But anyhow, it's a good time to stack some chips away if you're still working. Like my wife works for a pharmaceuticals company, but she works from home. She helps the people with their own business through the pharmacy. She helps them operate. So her job's pretty secure because she doesn't come in contact with people anyway. So now is the time to stack chips. Like, you know what I mean? Shit.
Yeah.
You can't hold money. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
RBT says, are you in contact with people daily? No, I'm not. Me personally, IBT, I'm only in contact with 2 or 3 people, which are the other 2 or 3 that's working in there because they don't really have a full staff right now because it's slow. But I'm in the back. I bake, bro. I get there like 4 in the morning. I bake the shit that they're supposed to be. Most of the time when y'all see me on that D donut shop in the morning, I'm already finished cooking. I'm like in the middle of cleaning up before I leave and shit, like just cleaning, wiping down shit and mopping the floor before I leave. So that's why y'all don't see me with no gloves or nothing. But bro, I don't really I don't deal with those people at the drive-through window. You can't come inside the restaurant, so there's no people coming in. It's just a drive-through window. But I don't even deal with them, so I don't really come in contact with no one. I do my thing. I do a live for talk about some boxing, and then I go to fuck home. You know what I mean? But I just think that it's silly that they can't figure out a way to get some of this stuff to happen. And I got that little gig right there to buy a computer and pay for some of these fucking programs, and all of that shit's paid for. So I don't really give a shit about that place. Soccer Training Club. What's up, fam? But I don't see how they let people like us go to work and serve fucking food, but they can't get boxing matches. That shit makes no sense because they say that it's spread by the hands, right? Well, we're touching shit. Well, everybody in all of these fucking restaurants are not clean like us or like me. Like I wash and use the sanitizer and make sure I keep gloves on. I don't touch nobody's shit because I just feel like if I don't want to put it in my mouth, then I don't want to serve nothing that somebody would have to put in their mouth under those pretenses. You understand? If
food to money,
like if I would eat it, then that's how I want to serve it. So
all those things are exchanging hands from food to money. You know what I'm saying? Like
we don't even take cash at our place. Nope, just card. Everything is by card. We don't even take cash anymore, bro. Hell yeah. Mom, I'm on a live. Let me call you right back.
Okay.
All right. Bye.
I don't want them to take cash away though.
Oh, well, listen here, bro. I don't give a fuck what happens. It's gonna be hard for them to take that cash away. You know what I mean? Cash. But you know what? You know what's funny? Like I was thinking back in the like the late 90s, early 2000s. When remember when that whole Y2K shit was supposed to happen?
Yeah.
All right, so I was thinking back then because it's been talked about way back before then, like since the early 80s, about them removing cash from the society and making everything paperless, right? And I was like, well, what is that going to do for the hustlers? Because I was a hustler back then. I was in the streets. I was like, damn, bro, most of our business is cash on hand. You know what I mean? We can't get no fucking bank accounts because goddamn, then we have to report to the IRS. All our shit was under the table, B. So, like, what's that going to do for hustlers? And then they come out with shit like PayPal or Cash App. Don't matter no more. Because you could just cash out the weed man or the coke man or whatever. And that's just the fact, bro. Like, so now you don't even need cash. It's exactly what they want, but now you don't even really need cash. Say, all right, $50 or $100. All right, cash app it to me. And then they give you your shit.
Right, I get that, but there's other things that come involved that you could get deep into, like, you know what I mean? For instance, if everything goes through an app and your job sends it to the app and you don't get the right amount, now what do? You go to your job and bitch, or do you go to that and they be like, it's the app. Yeah. Now who you gonna argue with?
Yep,
if they take too many taxes out, who you gonna square that up with? You know what I mean? So these are little things that people ain't thinking about, because it's a difference, and it's not just the hustling aspect. Say maybe I want to buy something used, maybe I want to buy a vehicle, maybe I want to buy something, you know what I mean? And ain't nothing like, I can't pull a card out, you know what I mean? And then or I could tell them I could give them a check, But if I pull that cash out, they like I can persuade them to go a little lower. You know what I mean? Because that cash is there. You know what I'm saying? It's in their face. So I mean, to me, cash is a good way of dealing with things, and also to keep your ass out of debt. Because if
Yeah.
you lose your money, you lost it. If someone takes your money, you know who took it. If your car comes up missing, you're screwed. Now you're broke for 6 months because you got to go through all that shit to
Well,
try
what
to get your car back. You know what I'm saying?
you want to? It's like this, bro. We from the streets, bro. You know, you know what I mean? And I'm just like you. I've always been comfortable with cash on hand, some gold somewhere in the cut. You know what I mean? People gotta realize gold and silver and platinum is valuable too. You know, if you got extra money to the side, stock up, buy gold coins because for
Shout
some
out.
reason,
Diamonds ain't a good investment,
no,
y'all.
no, I said
Get to the
gold.
go. Right. No, I was just saying that. I was adding that to what you were
Oh yeah,
saying.
yeah, yeah. No, no, not precious jewels because they're not good investments, but gold, silver, and platinum for sure because it's something about the allure of precious metals, even through the dawn of time, bro. You think way back to the Mayans, the Aztecs, you know, whatever you want to think about. Gold has always been the allure, and then there's so much that you can do with it through technology. So the value of gold is never going to diminish. So right now, fuck money. It doesn't matter what currency. The British pound, I think, is the number one currency. That's all superficial fucking income. Investing in gold or natural resources, those things are definitely going to always hold value. So if you have extra funds, $2,000, $3,000, telling you right now, go buy some gold coins because I can guarantee you when the dollar bill collapse, and don't be comfortable, Americans, because at one time or another, it's going to collapse. The margin call is going to happen, and the dollar bill will collapse, and I'll explain all of that later. But once that happens, that dollar ain't going to be worth a fuck.
Yeah, but I'll tell you what,
Going to be
the,
worth like $2 or $3.
the UN and the Fed ain't they don't like that shit. When people start talking about gold standard, they put an end to that shit real quick.
Yeah, but I mean, it is what it is.
They
That's
want it all digital.
you
That's why they
can
try to keep
yell
it digital.
that shit to the rooftops, bro. But people
Uh,
won't listen. People won't
yeah.
listen. So I mean, I just try to educate people the best I can. But you know, it's like the old saying goes: you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make the motherfucker drink. You know what I mean? And so I just go by what I know, and I'm telling you guys right the fuck now. Gold, silver, and platinum. Buy as much of that shit. Don't fucking go selling your old gold items and stuff. No, fuck that, bro. Keep that shit in the cut. You got a bunch of old jewelry like them fucking thick ass herringbone chains from back in the day. If you got some of them, keep that shit. Put it in the cut. That's just gonna be worth money. You can break that shit down and actually use that shit to exchange.
A Run DMC rope.
Huh?
A Run DMC rope chain.
Yeah, boy. You in the money. When you in the money, you got one of them. But those motherfuckers was hollow as shit. Motherfuckers, they looked real. They was hollow as hell. Them shits weren't really hollow.
I don't know, man. Slick Rick shit looked pretty legit.
I mean, no, it was all gold, but it wasn't like thick. It wasn't like solid all the way through and through.
Right,
It was
right.
solid gold, but those spirals was hollowed out. You know what I mean? And that just made real big and shit.
Yep.
Those shits would be way too heavy. If you think about all of those chains, if they were solid and you know the density was solid, man, those shits would be heavy as fuck. You talking about like
They're
fucking
super heavy. Yeah, exactly.
fucking metal and shit. Because
You
gold
need-
is like
Gold is extremely dense. and
yes,
very
it is.
heavy. Yeah,
Yes, they have
real
to
gold.
that shit out,
That's
bro.
why when you seeing them dudes in the movies running around with a sack of gold, bullshit.
Yeah,
Them motherfuckers be dragging that shit.
they showed they cut the clip. It's gold bars, and then they switched that shit to ping pong balls. They run around with a bag of ping pong balls.
They holding heat and shooting at people with like 20 bars of gold on their side, like bullshit. That dude have a serious gangster lean going on with that shit on his shoulder.
Yeah. Hey, Junior Moreno, I see your comment, bro. I put it up there, but I'll tell you like this: that is the reports that they're giving us. So I'm not gonna say that it's right or it's wrong, but that is the reports that we've been given. So I read that too. You know, Samuel Shaw said, "Where's the money coming from?" Yeah, you talk about the no one in the ring is that. That's why I said they're gonna have to do pay-per-views.
Yep.
Yep. I mean and these fighters ain't gonna be able to get as much money as they were getting paid before either. The zone gonna cut back big time on those paydays.
They better put Scott tissue on their motherfucking shorts, on their trunks when they go in there, man. they put hand sanitizer on this part of their trunks and shit, on their shoes, all them things that are selling. The money will be there, man. They'll be boosting it. You know what I'm saying? They'll figure out ways to make the money. The money will be there because people will be tuning in, and when they tune in, that's where they get everything from. They get it from like the sponsors, and the sponsors gonna be sponsoring whatever they pushing at this moment. And who knows? People gonna be coming out with some pretty cool inventions because of this thing, and it's gonna help people out in the future. You know.
Yeah. Soccer Training Club said we work indeed. That's what's up, fam.
Good for you. Yep.
Get it in as long as you can, fam.
Keep oiling them gears.
Yeah. So, all right. So let's talk about my man, bro. Let's talk about my man. And guys, if I missed some comments, sorry. I apologize. But let's talk about my man Fury. 1-2 kid. Because it's a whole lot of hate that's cranking up. We were just talking about this before you jumped on. It's a whole lot of hate cranking up for Fury. And it's a combination of Wilder fans that want him to lose because he beat Wilder, and then Wilder fans that want him to win because he beat Wilder. But it's a lot of discrediting and shit going on now about what he did in the past and all of that. Trav FDY, what's good? Red Glove Militant, what's up, fam? So what you think about that 1-2 kid?
Well, he wasn't making no mistakes in that fight or up to that fight. So, I mean, they can hate all they want. They can't take that title away. They can't take that win away. They can't take that stoppage away. They can't take none of that away. They can hate it as much as they want. And you know you made it when they hating. Now he come over to America and they hating on him. When he was in the UK, they hated on him. So let him keep hating. He just gonna keep on. If he continues to be great, then y'all missing out on it. Y'all too busy hating. Y'all missing out on the celebration. Y'all watching something right in front of you, and you too busy hating on him for whatever reason. That's all you. I'm enjoying it. Good for him.
Yo, that's a fact. Team Bad Intentions. What's up, fam? Yo, I'll get this smoke. I'm with you, bro. Now I tell everybody this. You know, help, man. Give. You don't have to give money to people. Just whatever you can do to help the next man, bro. This is the time, like, everybody lay down their fucking differences and all of that shit. You know, you got racial tension or whatever. I don't give a fuck what kind of prejudice you got. That fucking virus doesn't give a fuck what color you are, what race, creed you are. All right, what tribe you belong to. And it's time to like look out for the next man, bro. Do whatever you can. Like I said, when I say give, you don't have to give money. You can give somebody a ride. You can do whatever, bro. You can give somebody a helping hand. They struggling to push their car out the street, whatever, bro. Just do whatever you can to give to the next man, because this is the time to band together, bro. People are going to be forced to band together, so you might as well get in the habit of doing that shit right the fuck now. And that's a fact, man. That's just how I see it. Zaro's 2-time. What's up with you, fam? What's up, Red Glove? You there, Red Glove? You in the show, fam?
Oh,
well,
my bad. I was
yo,
muted.
Red,
I didn't realize that. What up, D?
What's good with you? Okay. Yeah, so you heard what we was talking about, Red?
Might have lost him. He might have muted again.
Nah, you're not muted, bro. Red having technical difficulties.
I'm not sure. Just hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
what did you say? What was the question?
Oh, he just dropped out.
What did he ask?
He was. I think he was talking about. I think he was talking about Tyson Fury How he getting hated on?
Oh, we know what it is, man.
He's
Like,
coming back.
Yeah, no, I jumped out and came back in. I didn't know if Ray could hear me or not. Can you hear me,
that
Ray?
was me. It was me. Yeah, I can hear you. It was
Uh,
my signal went out for some reason. But you want my thoughts
Would you
on
have?
people hating on Tyson Fury?
yeah.
We know what it is, man. There's people who, they talked up Wilder, okay, and they said that this was a good fight. And in reality, if the fight was as good as y'all said it was, it should be a 50-50 fight, or at the very least, Tyson Fury should have some chance of beating Deontay Wilder. So, that just shows me that they were disingenuous about this fight before it even popped off. So when he gets his ass whooped by Tyson Fury, now it's a problem, and they can't accept it. They thought this man was invincible, and the reality is no man is invincible.
That's a fact, bro. And it's the same thing for my fellow Tyson Fury fans out here, bro. Like, they gassing him up too. Like, oh, he gonna run through Joshua. No, the fuck he's not, bro. Because Deontay Wilder is not Anthony Joshua. And it doesn't matter how many people thought that, he would go in there and knock him out. He's just not Anthony Joshua. It's a different animal. Joshua has a lot more to bring to the table than Deontay Wilder. So Fury's not going to go in there and run through Joshua either. It's a damn good fight. And I honestly believe it's a 50-50 fight. It's hard to call that fight. I'm rooting for Fury. I'm pulling for Fury. But I don't really edge either of those guys in that fight. I think it's a fucking toss-up, bro. I think it's a toss-up. And, Joshua showed a whole lot of heart and courage, bro, tenacity to get beaten that way and then come back and take his titles back. People looking at he ran away and all that. No, he strategically and educatedly did what it took to win the fight. That's what he did. They came up with a game plan and he executed it perfectly. And he did what it took to win that fight. There's no need for him to get in there and try to bang it out. That's what got his ass knocked out in the first fight. What he was supposed to do was get in there and box, and that's what he did. And the fact that he could make those adjustments shows you that he can adjust what he does in the ring to fight the guy in front of him. So they're going to come with a hell of a game plan for Fury, and Fury has better be able to counter, because if not, Joshua's going to beat him.
Yeah, because you gotta fight the right fight. It doesn't matter who you're fighting; you have to fight the right fight. The right fight for the last guy ain't necessarily the right fight for this guy. AJ tried fighting Ruiz the same way he fought everybody else, and it didn't work out. So what did he do? He went and came up with a different game plan, and just because he didn't lose like these people wanted him to, well, now he ran. Now he fights like a bitch, and people need to learn to keep it real. You thought he was gonna lose, and he didn't lose. So why don't you just give him his props? That's even more reason to give him props. That I give Canelo a lot of props because I thought that he was gonna lose against Kovalev, and he proved me wrong. I didn't go make excuses for Kovalev. No, he beat his ass. And I'm even more impressed because I thought he wasn't going to beat his ass. I thought he was going to be the one getting his ass beat.
Yeah. Sorrow's 2-time. What's up, my brother?
Oh, just chilling, my dude. You all right?
Yeah, man. Yeah. Just chopping it up a little bit. So Iceman says they're saying UF 249 is on. Yeah, I was talking about that earlier, Iceman. And I think along with whatever Japan has planned for May, that this is two avenues that boxing and combat sports can study to try to get this get our fights back in action. I think if Dana White has success with UFC 249 and they have a successful event in Japan, these minds can get to working and they can try to use both of them to duplicate something and have safe fights and give us the sport back. So, yeah, Iceman, that's what's been talked about, man.
I think we'll likely see that next month. We won't see any of that this month.
You say what, Zaros?
I don't think we'll see any of that closed door like boxing or anything in April. It'll probably be in May.
Oh yeah, for sure. But that UFC 249, that's MMA. That's that fight, and he's been consistent saying that UFC 249 is going to go on. So he hasn't changed from that. Even when basketball shut down, he said we're not stopping. We're moving on. And he's pretty much been on schedule. He only had to cancel the Khabib fight because there are no flights in or out of Russia or the United States, and he's over there pretty much stuck. But everybody else, I think, are on the mainland. So Dana White's still trying to put this card together. And I hope, like, I'm rooting for Dana White because, bro, like I said, that means big for boxing. If he could get that shit to go through, you better believe there's going to be some copycats behind whatever he does. They're going to
Where's
step
he doing those? Is it in Vegas he's hosting those in, like, the headquarters? The UFC headquarters?
Yeah, but and yeah, you know, that's but he's not going to do anything in Vegas. That's for sure. Mob was just gun rights. He was just talking about that because the governor out there is not having it. So he's trying to. That's the thing right now. Dana White's trying to find a venue where he can do it. But Vegas ain't going to be it because they on lockdown like Ohio, like we are here. Ain't shit popping out here, bro. They done closed everything down. They don't movies. You know, something as small as a movie theater is shut down. Ain't no damn fight happening in Vegas. Bowling alleys, pool halls, anything like that, all of that shit is shut down, bro.
I mean,
It's
shit, all they need is a space big enough to fit an octagon and a couple of cameras, and they can do it.
Yeah, that's it. They don't need.
Arena.
Yeah, and then like even the judges and doctors and stuff, they could wear the mask and all of that shit. Like they'll figure it out, bro.
Hey D, it's not affecting your donut shop that you work at?
No, for some reason, oddly, I was talking about that earlier too. It doesn't make sense to me that we're still allowed to operate, but it is what it is. I think that eventually here they're going to shut that shit down. Which I'm already prepared for that, so no worries. But I think that eventually they're going to shut that shit down. I don't see how they're going to allow that stuff to keep operating. Right now, we're only doing drive-through, so like no one can come in the store or none of that shit. They can only come through the drive-through, and they can only use a credit or debit card. Like we're not trading cash, I don't believe. So
yeah, D. I don't know if you ever seen the Ringside Reporter. If you ever watched that channel with Steve and Eric. Eric's from Ohio, and he was talking about how shit was shut down. I didn't put two and two together until you was talking about. I was like, hold up, how is he still working though? Like it's because he was talking about they shut everything down. And,
well, they have, but they shut everything down besides banks, grocery stores, gas station, and shipping services. Like, you know what I mean? And oddly enough, now I'll tell you something that's really funny here. And I talked to my brother, my cousins in different states. Construction ain't fucking Mr. B, bro. And I don't know if you guys noticed that where you are, but when it
They're
comes,
still working on the stadium out here. They still working on the radio stadium.
Construction workers are getting paid right now. I wish I still had the energy to fucking paint because I know commercial painting and shit. Like I don't really have the energy for that shit going up and down the ladders and all of that shit. But let me tell you something, man. Construction workers still. I just called my man and shit. One of the guys that I was getting contracts through, and he was like, "Nah, man, we moving, D. We good. We good." I was like, "Oh, wow, that's crazy. They building like a motherfucker right now."
Well, when I used to work in construction.
What do you do, Zaros?
Security.
When I used
Yeah, our TBA do that too. So his job's been good too.
Yeah, you need somebody to look after all these fucking empty buildings.
Yeah. What you say, Red?
I was saying when I worked in construction, I worked with doing the air conditioning and doing stuff like that. It's very possible to work on the air ducts and stuff and keep a 6 foot distance or more. So I think it depends on at what stage in the construction they're at. Because like certain things that you do in construction, you know, you do kind of have to work there, but other things you can work hundreds of feet apart, and you still get the job done. So I think that's what it is.
Yeah. Smoke. Yeah, that was a joke. That was an April Fool's joke. Get the smoke. Showbiz did dog. I went check the video out. Um, he's silly as hell, bro. He broke down probably like 5-10 minutes into the video and was like April Fools and shit.
I forgot that today is April Fool's Day.
Yeah, I didn't even pull a joke, an April Fool's joke today. I usually do every year. I get somebody real good, bro. Like some real good shit, but I ain't even playing nothing out this year. Like I don't, maybe I still got what? It's only 4:27, so I still got 6.5 hours to figure something out. I don't know. I think a good laugh is what we all need right now. I thought it was pretty funny. If y'all go watch the Showbiz video, it's pretty funny, but it's not really when you drop the bomb and you already know it's a joke. It's don't really catch you off guard. It's not really as funny. So whatever. So Ryan Garcia, man, do you guys like? Okay, so a lot of people are talking about. I'm gonna go around the panel on this. Gunright, you there, bro?
Yeah, I'm here, bro.
All right, I'm gonna start with you because you've been kind of quiet. But Ryan Garcia, do you guys think what's going on with him is Ryan Garcia trying to be great, trying to progress and do well, or do you guys think that a lot of this is clout chasing? Because there's a lot of people talking about Ryan as clout chasing. I don't think the kid. I'll give my piece. I'm gonna move to gun rights. I don't think the kid's clout chasing. I think that he really wants to prove himself. I think he really wants to do great and challenge himself and not fuck around like the Tank Davises and Jamal Charlos of the world. I think he wants to get out there and fight and keep fighting better. Gun rights, I'll start with you. Do you think that this is somewhat clout chasing, or you think Ryan wants all that smoke?
No, I think it's genuine. You feel what I'm saying? I think everybody just seen the way that Tank fought Gamboa and the fact that he been fighting fighters that they've been bringing up from weight classes below him. And Ryan is 5'10" with a 172 reach. So with that alone, I just think that he feel like a lot of us do that he can be able to stay on the outside and keep Tank at bay and maybe even stop him late. You feel what I'm saying? Because I'm telling you right now, you put Gamboa in there with Ryan, I feel like it won't even go 5 rounds. You feel me? So
I don't think it would either, bro, to tell you the truth. And what about the Devin Haney? Because he's been going at him too.
Devin Haney I just feel like they got so much history. They still trying to make a fight, but I don't feel like Devin Haney need to go fight Fortuna or Campbell before he get into there with like a Ryan. But if Ryan get past Linares, I feel like he ready, bro. I mean, I feel like he ready now, but just to give the fans and the public and the people who actually watch boxing a little bit more clarification, after the Linares fight should be enough. But I feel like I've seen enough right now. Just about how much I've seen Tank fight and the competition that he fought compared to the competition that Ryan Garcia fought, I just feel like it's levels, and I feel like Garcia is a little bit level above. And plus, he working with Canelo. Floyd ain't even really working with Gervonta Davis. He just managing them. You know what I'm saying? All of them videos y'all see Floyd in the gym with him, them is old ass video. Floyd ain't fucking with that nigga like that right now.
Right. What you think, Zaros? What you think? You think Ryan Garcia just clout chasing, or you think he legitimately want that smoke?
Yeah, I agree with what was just said. I don't think he's clout chasing at all because he's already got like 6 or 7 million fucking Instagram followers. So what clout's he gonna gain?
Yeah.
But I agree with the previous dude. Sorry, I don't know your name too well.
Mob, whatever you want to call it.
Apologies.
Nah, it's all good. Red Glove.
My bad. I had to step over to get that unmute button. I don't think he's clout chasing. I mean, he's moving along quite nicely, you know, and see, a lot of people think he's clout chasing because they're not used to these guys stepping up their competition. They're used to them getting to a certain point and then saying, you know what, I'm going to cherry pick from here on out.
Yeah.
They've
The
forgotten
Wilder
what the
effect.
exactly. So they've forgotten what the process actually is. Because El Jefe is right. There is a process, but the process isn't, you know, fighting these guys that we know you can beat. The process is you get to a point where you take on some dudes that we're not sure you can beat. And I think that's the point that he's gotten to. He knocked out Fonseca in one round. It was Fonseca, right? Am I remember that correctly?
Yeah.
Yeah, so he knocked out Fonseca in one round. I thought it was gonna go, I thought it was gonna go some rounds that he was gonna get some good work, but he completely blew Fonseca out.
Right.
It's not time to fight more Fonsecas. It's time to get at the Tank Davises and the guys like that. Even a Comey, even if he
thought Dono was going to give him some work. I thought Dono was going to give him some work, but he blasted through him too.
Yeah, so I mean, I wouldn't call it clout chasing. I just think a lot of people forgot what this process actually is. They've gotten too comfortable with all the bullshit. And Ryan Garcia, man, he's kind of showing like he's a old school cloth kind of fighter.
Right. 1-2 Kid, what's up, Unbiased?
What up?
Well, either one, whoever want to go first on this, 1-2 Kid or Unbiased.
I'll go first, I guess. I don't think he's clout chasing at all, man. He got all the clout he needs right now, and he's moving. I think he just wants that smoke, and we'll see. We'll see. Being that Tank Davis been doing some clout chasing, if he's willing to bite on that bait, you know what I'm saying, and prove the world, a lot of people wrong, and get in there and take that smoke, because it ain't gonna be like it's gonna be lacking money. It ain't gonna be like it's gonna be lacking viewers, and it certainly ain't gonna lack any drama. So, I think it's good for both of them. So I don't know why, I don't think anyone clout chasing. They just need to make it happen. Ain't that what boxing's about?
Word. That's exactly what boxing's about.
Yeah, facts. I'm biased. You heard the question, bro?
The fans stood up with the John outside of boxing.
I'm actually my opinion's a little different than all you guys. I think it's a bit of both. I think it's a bit of clout chasing, and the fact that I genuinely think he believes he could beat Tank. I mean, let's be real. Tank right now has the clout at 135. So it's actually a smart move by Ryan, because Tank is food. Like, he's being looked at as food right now. So, and he has a big name, right? We all know he has a big name. So it's a bit of both. Like, he knows this guy has a big name and he's food at this division, and I could knock him out. In my mind, I can knock him out for sure. So it's a bit of both to me. But at the end of the day, I don't really see Tank's handlers putting him in there with Ryan right now. I think Oscar genuinely would throw Ryan in there with Tank, because I think he believes Tank beats Ryan. Ryan beats Tank. And I think Ryan believes that too. So, I mean, he's doing the right thing. You beat Tank. Everybody looks at Tank like he's like mini Tyson or whatever. So you knock his ass out. Now you take all of his clout, like his clout tokens that people use that term now. You take all that he has, and then you become a star. It makes sense.
Yeah. I mean, shit. I can't argue with that, man. I feel the same way. I mean, like, that's a good point you made there. I mean, you kind of open up perspective on that, but either way you look at it, man, Ryan Garcia, I think a lot with him depends on this Linares fight. A lot. Like what he'll do against Tank, where his career is gonna go. If he's anywhere close to impressive versus Linares, like he's been in his past two fights, shit, sky's the limit for this kid, bro. If he goes in there and he dispatches Linares and like dominates the fight, bro, sky's the limit for this kid. And I don't, I hear a lot of people talking about, well, Linares is older, he's over there. It doesn't matter, bro. That dude has 50-something fights. and he's still a threat to any fucking prospect. You know what I mean?
You can't take that amount of experience from that amount of fights for granted at all.
Yeah, you can't take that shit lightly. And I would like to see Tank get in there with somebody like that, or Tank Davis has so many fights in front of him. Like, gosh, he can fight Luke, he can fight Devin, he can fight fucking Fortuna. He don't want to fight Tio, but he can fight Tio. You know what I mean? He can fight Ryan. He got so many fights. Like all of these young guys, need to step up and get it done. Really, it's time for them to step up. And right now, the two forerunners, in my opinion, and is Teofimo and Ryan Garcia. Especially if Ryan can get these fights that he got coming to him. Think about it, Linares, and then either Tank or Devin, and Ryan's going to be looking really good. Teofimo, like I said, he's already in a good position. He won a belt, win, lose, or draw with Lomachenko. It's a win-win situation for him.
But Tank should have been stepped up, bro. He's actually fighting the younger generation under him right now, and that's pretty sad. Like we're talking about Ryan Garcia, who technically is in the younger generation when it comes to Tank.
Right.
Really, Tank should have already fought Loma. He should have already fought Burchelt. So like Tank,
he's all of these guys. Like he should have already been.
Well, technically, Tank is fighting 2 generations older than him with Gamboas and shit.
Classes below him.
Yeah, and honestly, he shouldn't even be in the conversation with these guys. Tank should be in the conversations with Loma and those guys. Like Teofimo and them should be in the conversation of their own. It's embarrassing that Tank is even in the conversation with them because, bro, you should be further with
the prospects instead of the fucking
and with his
top guys.
too.
Right. He's
exactly.
He's like Unrivaled said. He's a fucking prospect with a belt, like a prospect with his one.
I've been calling Tank that for like years now because we're literally matching him up versus a prospect and talking about how the prospect would beat him. That's sad, bro.
It is.
Where Tank should be in his career. He should be at the point where when guys like Ryan Garcia is trying to make a fight with him, we should be saying shit like, "Oh, he's not ready for Tank yet."
Right.
He's getting a little bit too big for his britches.
Right.
But nah, he could definitely beat Tank, and that's Tank's fault that we're saying these things.
Right. Or Tank should be in a position, say like Crawford or Spence or Canelo, where the kid got to do a little more to get this shot. But he ain't. Like, you don't got to do shit to get a shot against you, motherfucker. Just sign the damn paperwork. Because you ain't, you know what I mean? Like, you're not deserved. Like, no one has to deserve a shot against Tank Davis. And the sad thing is that he should be at the pinnacle of his career where these younger fighters should have to deserve a shot to fight him. But you don't have to deserve no shot to fight Tank. That little motherfucker need to get in the ring.
Yeah, I don't know how you guys feel, but I can't take him serious because he doesn't take boxing serious.
Oh, hell no, I don't take him serious. He's a fucking joke, bro. Tank Davis is a fucking joke to me. Immortal Boxing Truth says,
like Broner's mini league from Austin Power.
130 instead, Cabbage Patch ass. Is that 135? Yeah, that's a fact, bro. That's a fact, man. I agree with that all day long. What's up, love? What you? All right, yeah, I do it. I gotta go. I'm not on break though. I know. I'm gonna come down in a minute. All right. But yeah, bro, that's a fact. And then let's talk about that, bro, because Unbiased, you might know more about this. Is this fight supposed to happen at 130, or is it just being talked about?
Oh, Leo said he's not going up to 135. He said the fight has to happen at 130. So maybe Tank's fat ass might have to go back down to 130. I don't know how he's going to do that.
I don't see that, bro. I don't care.
I want everybody to check out my video that I dropped 2 seconds ago. When we done, I want y'all
put the link in the chat. 1-2 kid.
I want y'all check it out.
You know how to do that, right?
Yeah, I think I could do that.
Yeah. That's what's up. But yeah, bro.
Iris hasn't got to you then.
If you can't do it, I'll do it for you.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, either way, y'all feel free to put y'all links to y'all videos in the chat, bro. If you ever come on the panel and you got a link to your video or something that you want to put in the chat, man, you're welcome to do that shit. Ain't no hating here, bro. I hope everybody get 1 million fucking subscribers. But
I just think everybody need a laugh. You know what I mean?
yeah, no doubt. I'm gonna check. Oh, if it's funny, if it's some funny shit, I'm definitely gonna check it out, bro. Because I love the funny stuff. D getting in trouble. Jose, I ain't getting in trouble. I didn't get in trouble, Jose. Me and my wife. Look, let me tell y'all something. So this ain't on boxing, but fucking, we talk about everything. So me and my wife been married now. It'd be 11 years on the 16th of May, right? Hey, bro, I can count on one hand. This is no lie. I can count on one hand in 11 years how many times we've argued. And it didn't even get to yelling. Like, it didn't even get to the point where we were yelling in some of those arguments. Like, just one hand in 11 years, bro. I know people that argue every fucking day. You know what I mean? So it's no getting in trouble here. If my wife and I disagree about something, we go in separate rooms for a little while. Then we come back and everything's cool.
Yeah, that's a good thing to do, man. Let everything cool off.
That's how we do, bro. That's how we do. There's no fucking arguing. We don't fucking hold grudges. We don't
Clear
look
your head.
patient, like try to get back at each other. Oh, you did this, so I'm gonna do this. Nah, we don't play them kind of fucking games, bro. If she do something I don't like, I tell her I don't like it. She don't do this shit again, and vice versa. There ain't gonna be no getting back. Nah, I did that because you did this. Like, fuck, what the fuck are we in high school, bro? We fucking in trouble with it. You know what I'm saying? What kind of bullshit is that? So anyway, it is what it is. But yeah. So
speaking of Andrade, I just looked at 1-2's thing. You see Andrade on Twitter trolling Charlo. Andrade.
Fucking hilarious.
Andrade tagged Charlo in it and then said, "My next opponent's gonna be the contender fighter." He was trolling the shit out of Charlo, bro. Yep. Yeah, he's punking Charlo, bro. Like, he really is. So Charlo need to do something. I understand he got Eubank lined up and Derevyanchenko, but the other champ is making you look like a bitch. So you need to say something.
He ain't even making him look like a bitch.
You know what though? I was checking out some of Eubank's fights and just watching them, and I'm like, yo, this dude could probably give some problems to Charlo, man.
Yeah, he got a lot of problems with Charlo.
I was like,
hey, he could beat Charlo.
Mm-hmm.
He could beat Charlo, bro.
He's got decently fast hands.
Yep.
I was watching that shit, and I was like, this dude come forward and he put some good punches together, and I'm like, I don't know, man.
He's got
entertaining fight.
He's got decent movement too.
Yo, I'm telling you, like, if Derevyanchenko fight Charlo, that belt is gone, bro. Derevyanchenko is the new champ.
I don't know. I don't know about that unbiased, and I'm gonna tell you why. Look, so with Derevyanchenko, like, that body work is proficient. Don't get me wrong. He showed that against Triple G, but Derevyanchenko do a lot of things that plays right to Charlo, bro. He do a lot of things that play right into Charlo's fucking hands. Could be a dangerous fight for Derevyanchenko because we know Triple G hits hard. Don't get me wrong, but we can't really measure Charlo's pop yet. I'm not saying that he hits harder than Triple G, but look, man, ain't no fighter going to keep taking too many of his fucking punches. I tell you that. Even Derevyanchenko.
I mean, I would say Triple G probably hits harder than Charlo.
Yeah, I mean, we can say that because it's proven. Triple G has proven that he has more power than that. You know what I mean? But again, we don't know what Charlo's level of power is yet because the fucker hasn't.
Hey, D, in my mob voice, would you bet on it? You got 3 stacks on. You got 3 stacks on Charlo versus Derevyanchenko.
Fuck no. I wouldn't bet your money on that goddamn fight. Hell no. That motherfucker no. Let me tell you something. I can talk Charlo all I want, but ain't no fucking way I'll bet on that motherfucker. I'll bet on his brother. I'll bet on Jamel. I wouldn't bet on Jamal. It's like it's way too many unknowns about Jamal, especially at 160, dog. We don't really know shit about this dude at 160.
Yo, Jalik was trying to tell me earlier that Terrence Crawford would dominate Jermell at 154. Man, come on, bro. Like that shit crazy.
I will say this. And by no means am I comparing these two guys as far as skill set, but I would definitely say that Tony Harrison is probably one of the best pure boxers at 154. Okay. And Tony Harrison has been fighting at 154. Now, I know Terrence Crawford's skill set is higher than Tony Harrison's, no question. But then there's that factor that he's moving up again. And Tony Harrison didn't dominate Jermell Charlo. You know, you got to factor that in. Crawford, that's big for Terrence Crawford, bro. So
that's a fact. That's a fact. Then I mean, we gotta be all honest too. Like, do we really believe that Crawford could take a Jermell punch?
I really don't know about that.
I don't know about that.
The way Cal Velasquez dropped him, no way you're gonna tell me that Cal Velasquez hits harder than Jermell Charlo. No fucking way.
Yeah, you'd be lying to yourself if you said that.
Right.
But to be fair, he got to be able to hit him.
Right, but again, bro, he's gonna be able to listen. That's the thing. There we go again with this Crawford shit. That motherfucker's not Floyd, and Floyd got hit. Crawford's not no super defensive fighter. Like he's gonna get touched, bro.
Yeah, he's gonna get hit.
That's the thing.
He's gonna get hit, bro.
That's the thing is because his range, man, his range ain't gonna really help him in the higher weight classes because
yes, it will. Yes, it will. I can tell you this because that motherfucker got gorilla arms. 1-2 kid. His fucking reach is a half inch longer than Jamal Charlo.
Yeah, but
Harrison got reach.
It's a half inch, man. Like I'm saying, when he moves up, then it's not that big a difference, and then you got the size of the guys too. So it's just all bad. I hope he don't go to 154, man.
Jermell chin. What about his chin? Like, do we really think Crawford can even hurt Jermell?
Facts.
I don't.
You ain't gotta hurt a dude to beat him, though.
No, but you gotta hurt. You gotta give him something to be honest about. If Crawford can't even make him honest, then like, bro, that fight. I could see him getting knocked out by Jermell, keeping it 1,000.
Yo,
I don't know,
look,
man.
Look, check this out. 1-2 kid. Look,
I'm not saying it's a good idea. I think it's a hell of a roll of the dice. Like I wouldn't do it.
Let me ask you this 1-2, and everybody else on the panel. I want to ask this real quick question, then I'm gonna break something down. Who do you guys think is a better boxer, Jermell Charlo or Jeff Horn? And I'm not trolling here. I'm being serious.
Yo, come on, man.
I don't know.
Who you think?
Come on, bro.
That's a rhetorical question, bro.
Right.
Come on, bro.
So here's my point.
It's still April 1st, yeah.
We all agree that Jermell Charlo is at least better than Jeff Horn. So listen, Jeff Horn, I think it was the 4th round or the 5th round, he caught Bud Crawford in the corner, and he caught him with a good body shot, and then he came upstairs and caught that man with a good punch. Crawford sidestepped and got out of there. This is my point, though. This is my point, 1-2 kid. If Jeff Horn can get in there and land that on fucking Crawford, let's not act like Charlo can't touch him. And if Charlo hits him the way Jeff Horn hit him, he's going down, friend.
Well, here's what I'm trying to say, man. If you're talking about a guy at 147 moving up to 154 to fight when he's surrounded by all that talent, that tells you there's something wrong with the game right off the bat.
Yeah,
but my whole thing with that situation now, and the welter. Listen, I call them the welterweights, like WAITS, because I'm getting tired of the whole division in total. Because they ain't even like. I feel for Bud in his situation, but how long am I going to sit here and just wait for them guys to fight each other. At this point, I don't even care about that division unless they start fighting each other. You know what I'm saying? Like Crawford's a phenomenal fighter. He's on my pound for pound list. I'm not gonna take him out. You know what I'm saying, until he starts showing me he's regressing or something like that. But I think he's a great fighter. And those guys don't want to fight him. It sucks because I think he's too small for 154, or I'd be pushing it like, yo, go to 154 and go, you know what I'm saying, show more. But he's small.
Yeah. If he goes to 154 and wins one belt against any of them, I'll put him at number 1 pound for pound.
And he could snatch that Textera belt.
Yeah, he could. And if he did that, I wouldn't give a fuck that it was Textera. I would give him number 1 pound for pound.
Me neither. But it's bad when you got to do shit like that to get a fight.
Yeah.
Fucking sucks, man.
Yeah. I mean,
they did it to Floyd. They did it to Floyd. They did it to Paul.
Yeah, if we're going to give Canelo credit for going up and snatching the belt from Rocky Fielding, then you got to give Crawford credit for going up and snatching a real belt, an official belt from Textera.
I don't give Canelo much credit for that, though. I'm going to be honest with you. I don't really look at that as a real belt. So,
yeah. Well, a lot of people don't. Smoke don't either. But, you know, a lot of Canelo fans do. And I'm just saying, like, keep the same energy. You know what I mean? I give him credit for it because I say this. Did GGG, Charlo, or Andre do it? And I'm pretty sure that all three of those guys had a good chance of beating a Rocky Fielding, but did they have the balls to go up and do it?
Man, Triple G ain't even going to look at anything that's above the middleweight limit, bro. He ain't going up there.
Exactly. And Jamel and fucking Andre got every opportunity to step up to 168 and fight the champions too. Are they going to do it?
Hey, and Triple G's defense,
with your fam.
In Triple G's defense, his dimensions might be a little too small for 168. But Andrade and Charlo, they tall as shit. They could go up there.
I know, but they ain't going to do it. And I was talking about that before. Like, if they go up there and snatch a belt from any one of those champions, that's just going to solidify their fight with Canelo. There's no way Canelo can't fight either one of those guys and say they got a belt from Callum Smith or Plan or Benavidez. That's a shoe-in. Like, come on.
Let's not. I get it. I get that certain guys should be, stepping up and fighting better competition. But let's not, where's most of the resistance coming from? You got to put most of the heat on where the resistance is coming from, why the fights ain't happening. So when guys just don't want to fight and say you need to fight somebody, that's where I put most of my heat. You know what I mean? Because if a guy's trying to make a fight happen, he's trying to make it happen. Someone else ain't gonna, well, then you got to get the heat. You know what I'm saying?
Well, I'll put the heat. I think the heat needs to be evenly distributed. I think that the heat does need to be applied to like the Charlos and the Spencers and the guys the Wilders that turn down these big fights. But then when you got guys like Andre, Charlo, even Dillian White to an instance, that blows their chances at getting these fights. Like they can do certain things to get these fights. They have to have some heat on them too, bro.
But you know what, though? I don't see as much issue with a guy like Spence moving up to 154 because he's built to go to 154.
That's the thing we were just saying. They all can. Andre can. Charlo can. They all can move up a one-weight class and get shit done. It ain't
just, say so.
Yeah. And then see, like with Andre, I'm going to stay on Andre because motherfuckers are saying Canelo ducking him. I can't get it. But with Andre, he talked about going to 168. So if you're going to talk about it, but you cry about nobody wants to fight you at 168, well, at 160, since you ran your mouth about 168, go up there and do it because you ain't getting no fights at 160. At least that's what you're telling all the fans. Okay, give me a fight at 160. So go up to 168 like you talked about.
Eddie Hearn just did an interview with them, and he said that he would go to 168, possibly fight Caleb Smith. So, I mean, look, he could do that, and I think he probably have a
I thought I heard Billy Joe Saunders. I thought he said he was going
to go. If he fights either one of those guys, he gets a fight. If he fights either one of those guys and prevails and wins, he gets a fight with Canelo. He makes Charlo look like a fucking fool because you turned down $7 million, so I had to go up and snatch a belt from a bigger champ. You know that how much that was shit on Charlo. He would be in prime position to get that Canelo fight. And I will say this, guys, I would much rather see Demetrius Andre versus BJS than Demetrius Andre versus Callum.
Yeah,
Actually, I don't
Callum's
even
a
know.
loss waiting to happen, if you ask me.
Callum
I
Smith
for the fight when it happened.
Well, let's
Go
talk
ahead.
about that. We got different. Let's talk about that because we got different views on that. So let's break it down. Who would rather see Demetrius Andre fight, Callum Smith or BJS? Say which one y'all rather see him fight. Break it down. Let's fucking talk about it. 1, 2, kick. Break it up.
Well, I was looking forward to that fight when it was going to happen at 160. Then I was looking forward to it when he called him out at 168. So I mean, to me, either or would be a decent shot. But until guys respond, he's still playing the waiting game.
Nah, nigga, you gotta pick. You gotta pick
what? Who I'd rather see him
don't try that diplomatic bullshit, nigga. You got to pick.
That ain't no diplomatic bullshit. Yo, if at 160, I would rather see him fight Billy Joe. At 168, probably Callum Smith.
Callum Smith?
Yeah, at 168.
You think that would make for a better fight?
I think it would get him a little more notoriety.
Well, I wonder, which would be a more interesting fight, though? That's
more
what
interesting?
About, which would be a better matchup?
Well, that depends on what you're looking for. If you're looking for a boxing match and a chess match, it's going to be Billy Joe Saunders. If you're looking for, a little mix-up, then it would be somebody like, like Callum Smith.
I think the opposite.
All right,
I think it's Smith.
All right, come on, Zaros, jump in there. What you feel? Who you would rather see him fight, and then break down why?
I think the opposite of what was just said. I think Andre and Billy Joe Saunders would be a good scrap between their two styles. I think Callum Smith he fights too tall and it's a bit boring. Well, for me personally.
All right. Red Glove, you've been a little quiet, my man. What you think? Which one you think would be the better matchup? Would you rather see Andre fight Smith or BJS, and why? Red, you on that delay?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
But that wasn't the first time. After seeing how Callum Smith looked in his last fight, at this point I had to go with Billy Joe Saunders.
Yo, can I jump on this one?
Yeah, I'm done.
Yeah, go ahead.
All right, so I was just gonna say, Callum Smith had a bad performance, but that was versus John Ryder. I think John Ryder would give Andrade hella problems, and Callum Smith, his reach, he's gonna come forward on Andrade. I don't even know if he'd respect Andrade's power like he respected John Ryder. I think it'll be a tougher fight than Billy Joe Saunders, because it'll just be a boxing match versus Billy Joe Saunders. But with Callum Smith versus Callum Smith has the potential to knock out Andrade because he has the power to do so. So, and he has the reach. He almost has the same dimensions. I think he's taller than Andrade, but the reach is probably almost the same. So, I think that's a tougher fight for Andrade moving up. Billy Joe Saunders, Andrade has the reach advantage. I think the height. It'll be a tough fight too, but I think Callum Smith would be the tougher fight.
Callum Smith is starving himself at 168 too. If you move up to
175,
he's getting smoked. He's getting smoked.
That's the fact. Did you see his face when Bivol said, "I'll come down to 168 to fight you"? Bro, he looked like he saw a ghost. He don't want any problems with Bivol. Period.
Hey, real quick, guys. Nick Homer, Toby Barlett, what's good with you? Appreciate y'all coming through. You know what, bro? We got mixed views about this. So let me say something. Who didn't go? Oh, gun rights. You gotta get your shot, bro. What you think? Who would you think would be a better matchup? And would you
BJS? I'm like Ring IQ. I think BJS would be a better matchup. I'm not sold on Callum Smith like that, bro. I seen a couple of fights before the John Ryder fight, and I wasn't sold on them then.
Yeah, I never was sold on him.
My brother JB, What's up? Hey, look. So check this out. I'm this is unbiased. So I'm gonna give a little bit of a breakdown like you did with BJS. So I was talking about this with Demetrius Andre, unbiased and his balance issue with BJS. In my opinion, their styles are similar, but I think that he will win that chess match because he keeps his balance better. He keeps his balance better, and he'll make Demetrius Andre pay. And I still feel like Demetrius Andre chin is suspect, bro. I'm still a little suspicious about that man chin, and I think that BJS could hurt him, and he's just as elusive. Like they got similar styles. I think he will win that chess match. I think Andre would, when it comes to Callum Smith, I don't mean no harm, but I think he would be able to pity pat, stay away from him, and win the fight on points. Because Callum Smith is that kind of guy that plays into what Andre does. That pity pat, run around, stay away, pity pat, pity pat. You know what I mean? Because John Ryder made Callum Smith pay for some stuff. And he was right inside with him. Demetrius will get inside, pop him to the body, come up with one of the wild hooks, run away, trip around the ring a little bit. But that'll be enough for him to win the fight against Callum Smith, in my opinion. I think BJS, just like Don Rice said, that IQ and the fact that they fight similar, he will be able to outmaneuver Andre because
I still think Boo Boo will win, though. I still think Boo Boo will win that match versus Caleb Smith. Versus BJS.
I don't know where you be going with that pity pat shit. I don't be seeing the same fighter, man. I don't be seeing Andre pity patting motherfuckers, man.
And I don't think Callum Smith would respect those pity pats. John Ryder had to eat, and John Ryder had to eat punches to get on the inside. To get on the inside to even work Callum Smith the way he did. Yeah, and I don't know if Andrade could do that. I just don't see it. And Andrade has shown signs that he could fight on the inside, but I don't think he's as good of an inside fighter as like a John Ryder. He would most likely have to keep at a distance, where Callum Smith has the longer reach, I believe, or they might be similar. So
long too. Right.
I mean, it could be. I think it's tougher.
Yeah, I think it'd be a better fight too, because you'd see them a lot on their back foot, both Billy Joe and Andre, where they're waiting on one another and looking for counters, and it's just it would be a bore fest, man.
I think Billy will make him look like a fool because Andre's footwork's terrible.
Terrible. Hey, 1-2. Let me tell you, when I say pity pat, it was against fights that I either looked at or that really mattered. I have seen Andre. I'm not gonna totally disrespect. I have seen him lay leather on guys. I mean, real good shots, solid shots. But my thing is that they were lower level guys, the guys that couldn't get away from them shots or didn't know what to do to
in that position.
Away from those shots. Yeah, they put themselves in position to eat.
He does throw pity pats, but they're range finders.
He does.
It's like range finder jabs that he will throw like 4 of them at you. They're not meant to really hurt you. No. He's just trying to line you up for that left hand he has.
But out of every 4 of those type of jabs that boxers like that throw, out of every 4 they score on 2 of them, and that's a fact.
I mean, look, Loma does it too.
Yeah, they're gonna score.
Loma will throw
So that's my thing, and although Ryder had to eat some shots to get inside, Ryder's not as fucking awkward and elusive as Demetrius Andre. Demetrius Andre, because of his balance, he's elusive to a fault to his own self, but he's still elusive. It's still hard to hit that bastard. So
just based on his reflexes, not his balance.
Yeah, it's hard to hit him. So Callum Smith ain't gonna be firing off on Demetrius Andre like he was. The Ryder was coming in, he was moving his head, but look, man.
Ryder also cut angles too. Ryder had to cut angles to come in. I don't know if Andrade can actually do that successfully, without having balance issues. But I don't know if Andrade can
by default though. That's the thing with Andre. I don't know if he does it by default. He gets those angles.
I don't know how.
Off.
I don't know.
I don't know if Andrade could take that punch. I don't know if Andrade could take the punch, like in the first place. Like, what happens when Callum Smith lands on Andrade?
We should be talking about Ryder fighting Andrade instead of Callum Smith because I don't think he won that fight.
That's true.
Me
I'm
neither.
with you.
Yo,
I'm
that
with
was
you
a
100%.
decision, bro. That was definitely a controversial decision, bro. I'm with you on that.
Yeah,
But
as for
okay,
the go ahead, D. I didn't mean to cut you off.
no, go ahead, bro. Go ahead.
As for the Lane Williams, man, I know he lost to who was it, Lane Smith, but that first fight was extremely controversial, and it wasn't stopped on the headbutt, which cut the guy's eye when he was dominating. The second fight is controversial too, so you're not really, you know what I'm saying, that could have went either way too. So I wouldn't say.
Are you talking about?
I'm talking about Lane Williams, the guy is fighting next.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So I mean, when people say, "Oh well, he lost to Lane Smith," and it's like, well, did he? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, John Ryder. Another thing about John Ryder is that dude was never stopped, bro.
That dude was nasty.
But one time, he only got stopped one time. I think some what was that guy, bro? I think he was a British fighter, Blackwell or some shit. But anyway, he got stopped only once, so he's got probably a good beard on him. And I would have to agree with unbiased. Like I think Demetrius Andre chin is suspect because I seen him, look like he was in trouble from guys who weren't known for being knockout artists or anything. So if a guy like Callum Smith lay that leather on him, you know what I mean?
Like who? Who wasn't known? Who wasn't known as a big puncher that hurt him?
Anybody, because who the fuck has he fought? This is the big puncher. I mean,
I'll say this: I saw Selecki buzz him a bit. Selecki's not like a.
I've seen him buzz a couple of times, not like hurt where he's wobbled or anything. I don't mean like that one.
You mean like if he go up to 168, then you add in fire when they fight at 168.
I've seen him buzz like fighters hit him and get his attention, but they're not big punches. Like fighters, I feel like he should just chew their punches up and go in there and handle business. I've seen them buzz him. So even a guy at 160 like Charlo hits him, he's going to sleep. You understand what I'm saying? Because I have not seen him take a punch and be able to withstand it from anybody who can punch. He ain't fought no one who can punch. He ain't fought anybody who can punch.
How many people has Charlo fought that could punch?
Well, look, Charlo might not have proved it either, but I'm just saying Demetrius Andre ain't proved it. So
J-Rock could punch.
Yeah, J-Rock could punch.
He wasn't really known as a puncher.
But he can. He's known as he can punch. We know he can punch.
Okay, we know he can punch. All right.
Yeah, he's the only person who stopped Hurd, and Hurd ate a bunch of shots from Tony Harrison, who is a known puncher. He did gas out, but he got clipped too.
I mean, the fact that we wouldn't say that
you could be feather fisted and land a accumulation of shots and put a motherfucker to sleep.
But do you?
I feel like we ain't gonna never be able to give a full assessment of Andrade or Charlo right now because the way that I'm hearing everybody giving their opinion about him, you're not gonna really be able to assess him versus nobody because everybody kind of already got their mindset that Andrade is not really a good fighter like that. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of like
I just don't think it's 160. What Get the Smoke says about Andrade and Charlo, low key is kind of true. Like Andrade and Charlo have not really made their bones at 160 to assess them to the point where we're like, yeah, yo, they're really good because they beat this guy, or they're showing that they're really good because they beat this guy. Neither one of them have done that.
Like put it this way: every time we talk about Andrade versus somebody, I hear pretty much the same thing coming out of everybody's mouth, or whatever person that we mix him up against. It's always going to be Andrade either don't got no balance or he can't take no punch. I hear the same thing from everybody when they give their assessment of Andrade, who really is not fond of him like that as far as what he has shown up until this point. You feel me? Now tomorrow might be a different story.
We do say to Jamal keep his head on the line. Jamal isn't just a technical
on line, bro.
technically sound fighter with a solid chin, a workhorse. You know what I'm saying?
I'm not really sold on the Charlo brothers, bro. So I mean, you talking to me about them is like, you feel what I'm saying? That's like talking to a brick wall because I'm not really sold on them. You feel me? So I gotta see. I gotta see. It's just like everybody else when they give their opinion about Boo Boo. I gotta see them versus a top contender in order for me to just stamp him like that. You feel me? Now his younger brother, he didn't put in work. You feel me?
Right. Well, both of them at 154, both of them have good resumes at 154. But the older brother at 160, he's not really doing much. He's not doing shit really. If he goes on to beat Derevyanchenko, then I mean, you kind of have to say, all right, well, he's proven it.
He hasn't proven, but a lot of people thought he lost that fight. Yeah. So I mean, you can't.
No, I'm talking about Derevyanchenko. If he goes and fights Derevyanchenko, then he's proven it.
Korobov.
No.
Yeah, see, and just on that fight right there, that gives me a lot of questions right there. Like I ain't seen Boo Boo in a fight like that where it's like a controversy. So like I said, I got
like that, bro.
He ain't fought nobody like that yet.
No, he haven't. But like I said, I'm not really sold on Charlo either. You feel what I'm saying? His fighting style and everything, I'm not really sold on him. Period. You feel what I'm saying? Hey, you can't change my mindset on that. You feel 100% on how I feel about him. It's just like Tank. You feel me? I got my own opinion about him.
Yo, can I ask you guys something real quick?
Yeah.
You guys think that Charlo or Andrade could go to 168 and become a champion? Because Danny Jacobs is up there now, and I truly believe Danny Jacobs could become a champion up there.
I think Danny beat both of them. If you ask me, I think Danny could beat Charlo or Andrade. So I mean,
I'm with you on that. I agree. 100%. I agree.
I think he could too, bro. He already wanted that smoke with Charlo anyway.
And that's the thing is you can gauge him because he's been in there with better competition.
I guess that's why I give Charlo a lot of more heat because you turn down on Andre. I'm talking about the older Charlo, so let's get that straight because I know niggas be getting both the Charlos mixed up when we be talking about the Charlo. You feel me? But the older Charlo, not only did he turn down the Danny Jacobs fight, but now we seeing him turn down the Andrade fight. So with them two right there, with them two, just off of them two dudes right there, that was enough for me to show me the type of character that Jamal Charlo is and the type of heart that he got is as far as a warrior. You ain't got the lion heart like you've been talking. You know what I'm saying? You got that puppy heart. You ain't got that lion heart. Because if you had that lion heart, you would have took that Danny Jacobs fade when he pulled up on you in the middle of the motherfucking hallway.
Right. Yeah. That's a fact, bro. I mean, it is what it is, man. This dude, he'll figure it out. He'll step up. Listen, this is what's going to happen. And it's always anonymous with guys like him. He's either going to step up or he's going to lose the belt to a cherry pick going wrong. That's it. Hefe, can you count or can you see? It's 6 on the panel, so I could drop a link. But okay, somebody just jumped off. I'll drop a link for your little goofy ass. Don't come up here acting silly either.
I think they need
I just feel like a little bit more heat. A little bit more heat is directed a little bit more towards the Charlo because you not only did you take down a big payday, but you also turned down unification fight. So with that's just telling me you don't want to make money or you don't want to be great. And if you talking about you don't want to,
definitely, I don't disagree with that at all.
You know what I'm saying? So when we talk about these two fighters, I just can't really put no stamp on Charlo like that yet. So, like I said, with my opinion on that nigga in any subject that we ever talk about as far as boxing is concerned, it's always going to be a one-track mind on that because he got to show me something more. And the fact that he turned down the unification and a big payday, that just stared me off all the way. I'm kind of like unbiased. I'm like not really looking at 160 like that because it's just a bunch of fugazi shit going on.
Yeah, no doubt. So, fucking El Jefe is on the panel. What do you got to say?
Here we go.
Hey?
What's going on, man? Appreciate for having me on, man. Shout out to Gun Rights. Shout out to 1-2 Kid. Shout out to the dude. I don't know who you are, man. I don't know who the other person is. Man. So what's up, man?
You don't know who I
see.
There's Red Glove. That's Gun Rights. That's my man.
Okay, I didn't see Red Glove. I didn't see his logo. And the other dude with the gloves, I don't know who he is, man. With
That's
that fire
Red
shit.
Glove Militant, nigga. You know who that is.
Yeah, but I
You know
hear a
what,
little bit
though,
of
dude?
hate on Charlo, man. What's going on with that?
Ain't no fucking hate on Charlo. Knock it off. Tell Charlo to stop turning down fucking payday. Stop turning down unification fights, nigga. We won't have to talk about his ass. You feel me? Because what
Yeah,
the fuck
I
you
want to see
fighting for?
Charlo Andre, bro. That's a fight I want to see.
What did you fight? Yeah, he turning it down.
I
He
got
turning it
$100
down,
on
though,
that.
Hefe.
I got $100 on that fight, man. Anybody that wants to bet, man, because I'm
Nigga, put
I'm
100 bucks that he
100%.
take the fight first. Put on
I'm
100 bucks that he take
100%
the fight
sure.
first.
I'm 100% Charlo stops Andre. Andre is too sloppy, bro. His footwork's too sloppy. Himself, he's too sloppy.
Well,
He
if it
throws
goes,
looping punches.
if it goes down, El Jefe, I'll take your pesos.
Yeah.
All right.
Listen,
But double or nothing, man. Double or nothing. 1-2 kill.
Hey, Gunright got the right idea. He said put 100 down that he'll make the fight first. And
Yeah,
then
before you start betting on the fight, bet that the shit happened first. You feel what I'm saying?
the fight happens, then he has a chance to get his money back and have an outcome.
I'll tell you like this. Jamal Charlo could win that fight. Well, there's no way that I would bet on that fight. And El Jefe, I would even bet you just because of the odds, because Demetrius Andre, the way he move around, you can't guarantee Charlo stops him. Listen, bro, I say if Charlo hits him, I think Charlo will stop him, but I won't guarantee Charlo stop him because Charlo didn't stop Brandon Adams. He didn't stop.
Yo, but D, best believe, bro, like when it comes to these predictions, bro, it's rare for me to get them wrong, man. So best believe I know what I'm saying.
Where your
No,
receipts at?
I don't.
Where your
No, I
receipts
don't.
at? Where your receipts at?
Some
Are you a
predictions
millionaire?
wrong.
Some betting going over here.
Man, don't
Come
listen
on,
to
man.
me.
You was missing for 2 weeks when Andy Ruiz lost.
Oh.
And then he had to take some time off when Wilder lost.
Yeah. You was on paternity leave. You was on paternity leave.
When you rank that in the prediction league,
Bro, the prediction league, man, I'm not used to them smaller fighters, bro. It's all about the big fights.
Because you're not a real boxing fan.
No.
That's
Hold
why.
on. I'm more of a main event type of dude,
Wait,
man.
wait.
I like
Yeah,
the big
you're
fights.
casual. AKA casual.
Hold on, fellas. Hold on. That wasn't the question. The question was, where do you rank? That was the question.
Oh well, Mr. Clean hasn't sent me a link for the prediction league, so I don't really know.
Don't worry about it. You don't rank at all. You know why? Because you can't predict fights. You can't predict.
Hey, bro, D, I've outdid you, bro, on the predictions, man. So I don't know what you're speaking about.
You've never outdone me on anything, first and foremost. And second, didn't you predict that Rocky Hernandez was going to knock somebody out in the third round? And didn't Rocky Hernandez get knocked out? Didn't you predict that?
Bro, that was just a miscalculation, man. That happens in every day in life, man.
I thought you never missed the predictions, though. Body. See, they're going to know a body back for you. I just wanted to give you a little quick one. So we can
Ain't nobody trying to take that money that you stole out your mom's purse from you, homie. You better go put that shit back.
I think don't work.
Wait. With Mafia, I could bet a stack, man. With Mafia, I'll bet a stack, man. I'll take a stack.
You want a stack?
It's easy work.
What fight you want to bet a stack on, bro?
Oh,
free money.
And don't bet unless you're going to pay, bro. Because I'm telling you, I don't play about my money.
AJ versus Ruiz, if it ever happens, I'm willing to bet a stack.
Happened twice.
No, the trilogy.
Yeah, it happened twice. What the fuck are you talking about?
The trilogy.
Guys,
ain't no fucking trilogy.
Let's talk about that right quick.
If it happens, bro.
Let's talk about that right quick.
Eddie Hearn is talking about it.
The potential of a Ruiz AJ trilogy. So there is a potential of that fight. Hearn was talking about it because Ruiz can get into a mandatory fight for one of AJ's belts. That's basically the skinny on it. I don't remember which one it was. One of you guys might.
He's gonna have to wait. He's got fucking 4 other mandatories to deal with first.
Right. So that's where the whole talk came from. But I'm with Zaros 2 times. Like, you have to fucking get in line. And it definitely, I know it wasn't the IBF because Pula was there for that. So the IBF is the only one that we know that's going to do any type of enforcement. So it's not really anything to look into seriously. But that's where the talk came from because Eddie Hearn started mentioning that.
Well, let me say this, Dean, because I think I finally like understood who the Sorrows dude is. Like, can I ask him something real quick, man?
Oh my God! Here
No,
we go.
hold on. You can ask him anything, but
No, because I remember he came and trolled me a bit on my
Here
channel,
we
bro.
go.
So
Here we
I
go with
finally
the
remember.
bullshit.
Okay, Hefe, hold on for a second. Let me talk. You can ask him anything but how long he's been watching boxing. Go ahead, shoot.
I don't want to ask him anything then.
Or spiritual.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Hey,
Ah!
we have figured out your pattern.
Yeah, I already knew where your ass was going. Don't worry about how long you've been watching boxing. Listen, here's the answer, Hefe. Longer than you. That's the answer.
El Jefe, why you picking a fight that ain't even discussion of being made right now? Why don't you put that stack on that rematch with
Nah,
Wilder
bro,
and
because he
Tyson
trolled me
Fury?
last time, bro.
Put the money on Wilder and Fury. Put the money on Wilder and Fury.
Nah,
$100 you're trying to bet just go buy a year of the zone.
I bet you this dude, bro. He's a Tyson Fury fan, so he just came out of nowhere after Fury won, bro. But when,
yeah, Hefe, hold on for a second. Boy, you gotta learn to calm yourself up here, bro. Now listen, Zorro's 2 times ain't no fucking troll, bro. So don't even start that dumb shit. He wasn't trolling you. He was probably dropping his opinion that didn't agree with yours, but he ain't no fucking troll. So stop that.
El Jefe got his own definitions of what a troll is. If a nigga stop on his page and don't agree with him, he a troll.
Yeah, troll.
If a nigga body him in a debate, he a troll. Yeah, we already know where you coming at, bro.
Nah, bro. Let me tell you something. Speak to my sports talk family, bro. We got a lot of fucking educated, fucking knowledgeable boxers. We don't fucking have a bunch of trolls over here. So if somebody coming to your channel from over here, 9 times out of 10, you fucking asshole, I sent them over to you in support. So don't be calling none of the Speak Your Mind Sports Talk family members no fucking trolls. All 2 times.
yeah, well, the smoke is always welcome. Like, if you guys want smoke,
yeah,
I'm always there.
Get that smoke, but we ain't no troll, motherfucker. No troll.
No, I didn't say he was a troll. I said he was trolling me.
No, he wasn't trolling either. Because he don't.
If you want to smoke, you ain't even got nothing lit over there.
Carlos ain't never came up here and troll, bro. He talks
just make sure, bro, when you come to my channel, man, wear a mask and have an oxygen tank with you, bro, because the smoke is heavy, bro. It's that big smoke, man.
You ain't got nothing lit. You gotta have something lit to be having smoke.
Hey, gun right. That nigga ain't got nothing but a little infant on the table.
Hey, just ask D, bro. We ran D the fuck out, man. He was debating
us. Of lavender in the air.
No,
you got one of those candles lit over there with St. Mary on that motherfucker.
D was debating me and my lieutenant, bro, and D just ran the fuck out, man. He couldn't take the smoke.
Yo, lieutenant. Nigga, I thought your lieutenant kicked you out the house. Last time he was crying about how he kicked you out the house. Now he your lieutenant. Nigga, knock it off.
I hear you all, Steven Schneider. Y'all took me out in the chat, bro.
You said it's lieutenant. Oh, this dude is a trip.
Let me tell you something, bro. I don't. You know I will never run from no smoke. Nigga, didn't you see the video this morning at the donut shop? Man, I gotta get up at 3:30. I can't be fucking around with you on the late night. That's why I left. I had to go bake some donuts.
Yeah, bro, because something about my channel, bro, we got rankings over there. So on top, it's me, Get the Smoke, Jalik, and JFL, man. So that's my ranking over there.
Don't worry. That channel already, I have no worries.
You're like the IBS
of
debates then with them rankings.
Yeah, this is the thing. You telling me you number 1 and then Smoke. I have bodied both of you. So that's right, Smoke. I see you in there. I'm body both of you guys. So
how is IBT not over JSL when he beat him in the debate?
No, IBT's he's working himself up in the rankings, but he'll get there one day. Keep on doing your push-ups, IBT.
Joe started trouble.
IBT beat JFL on your channel, and you got JFL ranked above him. That don't make sense.
Thank you. Smoke done put in work though, man. Yeah, I bodied your punk ass Smoke. I done bodied you. I done bodied you, Smoke. You see, look, Smoke, look, El Jefe, I will say one thing about you, bro. El Jefe, you are influential. And the reason I say that, not to everyone, but to some people, because when you was over there with Jalik, you got Jalik to start saying some dumb shit that you be saying. And now I never thought I would see this day where Smoke would start to get in denial like you. But now you see even Smoke sound like you. You never body. You know what I mean? Smoke. Everybody here already know how to body bag you. Just like El Jefe. You guys don't accept your bodies. That's why you and Smoke click so well.
Just go back to any PVC conversation and you can see the body laid on the motherfucking ground with blood leaking out that motherfucker. When you got slumped. You feel me? Niggas be getting slumped on PVC conversations on this channel.
And since Smoke picture up there, Smoke and El Jefe, I got something for both of y'all. I don't body both of you. You idiot.
Dome shot.
Yeah, y'all my dudes though, bro. I fucks with Smoke and El Jefe. Everybody go subscribe to El Jefe. We always have a good time over there, man.
Everybody need a punching bag. Everybody need a punching bag.
Outside of that, El Jefe be having some good conversations. You can't really punch on El Jefe too much because he's smart. He on his channel, he'll let the panel get full, and then he'll jump off.
He been doing his homework.
Yeah.
He been getting straight A's. You got them grades up. Huh?
That motherfucker, the only one I know in the YTBC that jump in the chat while he got a live running and troll his own channel.
Hey, now y'all see what we've been talking about. You gotta whoop your kids' ass enough, and I'm telling you, they'll change. Whoop their ass enough, and they'll change.
Hell no, don't listen to Gunright. Do not hit those babies. Don't ever hit those babies, man. Don't. Gunright, let me talk, bro. I want to talk. What? This is an open conversation, so I want to talk about this right quick. And I want to go around the panel. Zaros, I'm gonna start with you. I'm gonna go around the Red Glove, El Jefe, Gun Rights, and 1 2 Kid. Do y'all believe in spanking your children? Zaros 2 times.
Shit, I got none, so I guess a little bit.
Okay.
I don't know.
How about you, Red Glove?
I believe in it. I mean, I don't have any kids of my own, but I got a godson, and then not only that, but I have a brother. I got my ass kicked, and he always got the benefit of the doubt. Well, now he's a big fucking asshole, and I'm and I'm not saying I'm the nicest guy in the world, but I like to think I'm at least a half decent person.
Right, I feel you. El Jefe. With your young ass, what you?
Yeah, man. I really do believe kids need to be disciplined, bro. Because physically. Look, wait, hold on. If you really look into the animal kingdom, bro, the lion. Wait, hold on. I guess they letting me finish, bro.
Go ahead.
When you look into the animal kingdom, bro, especially the lions, bro. When the little lion man is not listening, bro. Usually what the lion does, it picks it up from the skin of its neck and throws it around, bro. So that's like some type of discipline through physical activity that the lion is doing to mature the cub. And I think that's what humans need to do also, bro.
Okay.
It's all in the bloodline because humans stem from animals, like from years ago, bro. You could go like 50,000 years ago. Where humans weren't domesticated as we are now. We had that animalistic behavior back in those days, bro. But over the years we've been evolving. I wouldn't
listen, man.
All we're missing is fucking David Attenborough.
Good God, man, chill for a second. Gun Right. What you think, man?
Hey, look. Look, man, you already know, man. I got my ass whooped. My little brothers, I'm kind of like 1 2. My little brothers didn't get whooped at all. Me and my BMs was just talking about this, and they still at the house with moms. They ain't got no really responsibility towards them. You feel me? Because they didn't get disciplined. But I don't feel like, look, man, when I say whip, I mean, I pop my daughter sometimes.
Reasonable spankings.
Yeah, I pop my daughter sometimes, but I'm not about to put no belt, and I'm not about to get stripping butt ass naked and whipping with a switch like that shit we used to have to go through. I used to have to walk to get the switch and get my ass whooped butt ass naked. So trust and believe, nigga. We all got them whoopings once in our lifetime, but these days it's a little different. These kids are a little bit smarter. You feel me? So you could talk to them a little bit better. You feel what I'm saying? They're a little bit more educated as far as, the social media goes. So they're able to see a lot of shit that we had to learn at a later age. So you don't have to really, beat the shit out of them like that, like child abuse, borderline type shit, like we used to get. But I do believe in spanking. So
okay, all right, ain't nothing wrong with that. 1-2 kid. What you think, fam?
Man, as a kid, I stayed getting my ass whooped. so you know what I'm saying? And but me myself, like nah, man, I do discipline my kids, but it's gotta be they gotta do something extreme, and then I also break it down to them why it was done. You know what I'm saying? And I put it, but for the most part, they pretty much got everything figured out because they learned from their older brothers. You know what I'm saying? Like, okay, don't do that. You know what I'm saying? But nothing serious. I mean, but yeah, I don't think it's necessarily a bad thing if it's, you know what I mean? If you just, it's not over the top shit.
Right.
It's some really bad
shit.
Yeah.
Like if they break something, you don't want to just go out and hit them. You feel what I'm saying?
It also depends
on
the spiritual animal you are. It depends really on the spiritual animal.
Right.
That makes a lot of difference.
That's correct. Now, let me break this down, bro. That's a good quick thought, El Jefe, because it does depend on that. And first, I want to break down and say this. What's good and bad is a perspective, bro. If you're doing something, anybody that's doing something that you feel is bad or wrong, everybody gets this either feeling in their fucking throat or they get it in their stomach. Okay. That's your inner self telling you what the fuck you're doing ain't
right from wrong. Right.
It's telling you that what you're doing right now is not right. That's why you get that feeling, and it don't feel good. It's bubble guts, butterflies, whatever the fuck you want to call it. Don't nobody like that shit. And it's your inner self telling you that what you're doing is wrong. So right and wrong is really a perspective, because if you're doing it and it makes you feel good and joyous inside, there ain't no fucking way nobody can tell you that it's wrong, because it's making you feel good. Don't nobody feel good when they're doing wrong. So, okay, so it's all about perspective. So I can't tell the next man hitting your child is wrong, because I just explained this. Right and wrong is your perspective. But I will say this. El Jefe made a good point, because my spirituality doesn't allow me to agree with any type of violence toward anyone to gain respect. Now, let me break this down. Even with Zorro's 2 times, because he's over in the UK, okay? So it's not the American culture of slavery. So when I say slavery, there have been slaves everywhere, all across the world, through some point in time. And indentured servants, slaves, whatever you want to call them.
I mean, shit, the Vikings had our pants down.
Right, exactly. To be struck, to be beaten, to be physically disciplined, only instills fear. It does not instill the respect that you desire from whomever you're trying to get it from, whether it be a child, whether it be a slave. Here's the point. You're only making that child afraid to be physically disciplined. So they're not gaining respect. Their misnomer and what we've been taught is that they will respect you later. No, they will be scared that they will get fucked up somehow. It's not going to feel good if they don't do what they told. So it's a fear that's driving them. What you really want to do, what we all desire, is for them to respect us. Right. Now, discipline does not have to come in the form of physicality, but it also does not have to come in the form of a verbal abuse, which is what some people chose to do, where they would browbeat or talk down to their children and make them feel worthless. Well, that's also abuse, and that doesn't work either. You have to find that midline where there's discipline involved, but discipline involved by taking or removing something that you know this child enjoys, okay? And then we talk to them and we explain to them what they're doing wrong and why why they shouldn't do that. But to physically discipline them, me personally, I don't agree with that because that is of a slave mentality. Slaves were beaten into submission, so they were going to comply or they were going to be afraid to be beaten. So that idea was passed down through generation and generation and generation. Beat your child because that's how you gain the obedience, and it shouldn't really be that way.
Well, I guess that's all in perspective.
Right.
Depending on the situation, what's being done, and all children are different. You can have
because I never fear my parents, bro, when they hit me. I just knew that they was teaching me that I just can't go around this world doing whatever the fuck I want to do. That's what it comes down to. Because I feel what you're coming from, but you're not about to just sit up here and let your daughter go around the house breaking shit. And then if you talk to her and she's still breaking shit, it get to a point, bro. Like my little cousin, he was just a badass. You couldn't tell him nothing. We tried to talk to him. Uncle tried to talk to him. Cousin tried to talk to him. Older homies tried to talk to him. He just didn't want to listen. It's some kids out there who just want to see the world burn, bro. You feel what I'm saying? Them Columbine kids, you probably thought that, they had some counseling. We could have stopped the shooting, but you don't know what the fuck was going on in their mindset. You don't know what their determination was. You feel what I'm saying? A kid's mind is like a sponge, bro. You feel me? It's not like an adult. You thinking of it as a logical perspective.
No. Actually, I'm not, bro, because I actually did a Power on the Mind segment speaking on.
I bet, bro. I used to teach a class for safeness. If you know safeness, they teach about that.
All right, hear me out, bro. I understand is what I'm telling you because from the age of 1 to 7 is when we adapt what we're going to learn about our environment. So I get that. What I'm saying is this, though. It gets to a point where it's the adult or the caretaker they're the ones that's frustrated. So their idea is to strike. I mean, we can rationalize it however we want, but the facts are we were taught that way. And this is what I'm saying. This is not something that's natural. This is something that was taught to us. Our parents, I used to get my ass whooped, switches, belts, brooms, whatever my mom could fucking find, right? So the thing is, our parents taught us that way, and we weren't taught an alternative way. That does not mean that there is not an alternative way. Now, I started this off with saying I don't judge or tell anybody how to raise or anything their kids, but I do have a certain amount of success, right? And because all of my children, my 3 grown ones, 20, my son just turned 20 yesterday, 20, 21, and 23, none of them, all of them grew up in the hood. None of them got kids, bro. 1 boy, 2 girls. Then my 9-year-old, she don't get any fucking spanking. She gets straight A's and B's in school. She's very respectful. I get compliments all the time. She doesn't get spankings. There is a way that, through educating myself, that I have learned to discipline and not have them off the fucking rocker at the same time without the spankings.
Mm-hmm. I mean, that works. That works too. Only point I'm trying to make is basically, we all got to learn as parents too. You're gonna constantly be learning.
Yeah,
ain't no book on that shit. Ain't no book on that shit.
And your kids may be different than the next kids.
Yep.
And you as a parent, you grow and say, okay, my parents did this, but this is what I felt they did wrong. So I'm gonna do this. So you're gonna continue, your families are gonna continue to evolve. So like my kids, same thing, man. All my kids are straight A students. All my kids are well disciplined. Not to where I discipline them because I don't have to. And it's just to the point where they have that mutual respect where they know I'm their dad, they know everything's good, they know I'm there to protect them, and they respect me.
Right.
So they grow, but they also learn from each other. Okay, he did that happened. I'm not going to do that.
Right.
Well, let me say this, D, real quick.
Hold on, Alhafe. Coach Stokes Boxing. What's up, fam? Appreciate you coming through. Go ahead, Alhafe.
I was gonna say, I agree with most of y'all. What y'all saying, man, that you could only teach a kid what he knows. Like you could only teach him the path. It's up to the kid to if he wants to go through that path or he wants to take another path. But I think different people have different styles, just like boxing.
Yeah.
one thing might not work for a person, and the other thing might do work. So it all depends. But I rule myself, bro. I look at the animal kingdom. I think that's what people are getting away from, bro. I think people are getting too
To
what?
touch on,
Let me slow you down for a second. Listen, dude. God has blessed us with something where certain things we do and the way we operate, we don't and we won't and shouldn't be like the animal kingdom. And what the thing
No, but that's some Buddha shit, man. I'm not Buddhist. I'm not Buddhist.
Mike, bro. You gotta mute your
I'm
mic.
not Buddhist, bro.
Okay, that's fine. But you can't cut me off or I'm gonna put you backstage. Now, what I was saying is we got a brain, bro, and it operates better than pretty much as we know any species on Earth. So we don't have to resort to savagery to get things done. Okay, so that doesn't have to happen in the human race. We don't have to be like lions and hyenas and beat the shit out of cubs to get them to listen. Okay, it don't have to work that way. We're not herds. We're people. Okay. Now, with that being said, bro, again, you have to remember, I'm not trying to convert you, bro. You will, when you have kids, because you're still a fucking kid, in my opinion. You fucking 21 years old. I got kids older than you. So you're a kid, in my opinion. So when you have kids, choose the path wisely, because it's just like 1-2 Kids said, we're going to make mistakes as parents, bro. Life experience is about making mistakes and learning from them. Nobody's going to be fucking perfect. My oldest children got whoopings earlier on, and then I learned later, and then they never got whoopings again. So it's not like I didn't make the same, what I consider a mistake. Some people don't consider what I did before a mistake, but I do. But that's just my opinion. That's my perspective.
That's your perspective.
Right.
And that's
it's
the other,
that you have to believe it.
And touching on what he said and what you said, not only do you teach them, and then they say, well, thanks, Dad, I appreciate what you taught me, whatever, or
right.
Mom, or whatever. I like to instill in them. I'm like, well, like what you said earlier, I could only, and like what El Jefe said, I could only show you the door. You had to walk through it. So I want you to be proud of the fact that you figured that out on your own. And that builds their confidence, because it's like, it's not just me. You had to walk it. You know what I'm saying? Like you had to
like put it this way. At a time, you couldn't tell me nothing. I don't care if you sat down to me, you try to give me the light. You just couldn't tell me nothing, because I was in my zone to where I thought that my ways was the right way. I thought everything how I thought it was gonna be was gonna be. You feel what I'm saying? Like so an ass whooping couldn't teach me that, nor of a conversation. So like I say, it just comes back to what I said. It depends on what type of child that you're dealing with. You got to know your children for one. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I know my child. Like I know my daughter. Like if she go up in there and keep touching the stove after I told her like 3-4 times after I told her like it's hot, you're gonna burn yourself. You feel me? It's only 2 options that I have at that point. It's either me pop her or me let her touch it and feel how hot it is for her to get the point. You feel what I'm saying? And that's what I'm saying as far as coming to the resort to happen to pop them. I'm not saying beat the fuck out of your kids. That's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying that you just can't let your kid run wild, because at the same time you're gonna be having them same people out there in the world talking about that. Oh, it's the parents' fault. Where was the parents at? You feel what I'm saying? So it's only so much it's only so much talking that you can do, as opposed to that kid keep doing what's not right. You feel what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, these lawmaking people is gonna be looking at you that it's your fault no matter what they do. So if that's in the play, then I have to do what I have to do in order to try to figure out a way in order to prevent from you having to do that. You feel what I'm saying? I'm telling you, I give my daughter chances. I tell her 5 times, stop touching it, stop doing it, stop doing this, stop doing that.
Yo, and let me say this to D, like, how do we really?
El Jefe, chill out. How old is your daughter?
Right. I got one that's 2 and I got one that's 7, and I got an infant, so he ain't, he gonna do baby shit. It's no really talking to him. You just gotta let it's certain ages you just kind of gotta go through the motions. You feel what I'm saying? You just gotta deal with the terrible shit. You feel me?
You gotta let them explore them cabinets.
Yeah, you know, I mean, at a certain age, that's what I'm saying. Like, but when they start to understand and talk back and talk to you and be able to understand words and be able to have a conversation with you, if I can't sit down and talk to you like that, then obviously you have to learn the hard way. Because no matter what, when they grow older, they gonna do something and feel like, oh, the judge is gonna sit down here and just talk to me. Nah, he ain't gonna sit down there and talk to you. He gonna be he won't be trying to give you some numbers. You feel what I'm saying? And there ain't gonna be no talking at that point of time. So in order for me to prevent that, I have to show you that it's gonna be harder than me hitting you right now. It's gonna be harder because the pause in life is way harder than me popping you and you feeling a little bit of pain for a couple of seconds, as opposed to you feeling some motherfucking pain and stress for some years sitting up in a cell or something else on that extent. You feel me?
All right. I hear you. But again, like when you say that, that's going to be circumstantial, and that's going to be that could potentially happen. And I feel you that is something that happens out here in the world. But again, like I'm 3 for 4 at this point of that not happening. And like my kids grew up in the hood, bro. So I mean, you know, again, if like it happened to me, so you're right about that. Because my mom had 4 boys, it was 4 of us. She taught us the right way. I was the bad seed, basically. None of my brothers, they ever never been locked up, this shit. You know what I mean? So it happens. But you said something interesting earlier, when you was like from 1 to 7. So I want to dig into that a little bit because you just said something while you were explaining what you were explaining there.
Oh, that wasn't me who said 1 through 7. That was somebody else who said
Okay.
that.
Well,
That was me.
okay, that was El Jefe. So that was correct because we gain basically most of who we're going to be from 1 through 7. There's studies on that. Here's the thing. Babies can actually understand words at a really early age. They cannot formulate or show that they understand, but their brains can take in and understand that. Now, I started doing studies on this like back in the late 90s, right? And my youngest daughter, a lot of you guys seen her come on the lives before, and she's been reading since she was 2. Since she was 2, she read 125 words, and she's been reading. When she was in kindergarten, no one in her class could read at story time. She would read stories to the kids, right? So they can actually understand. And one of the misnomers about us as parents, what we haven't been taught, because remember, generally we just learn from our parents and the way they raised us. So what we haven't been taught is that these kids can understand a hell of a lot more than we can fathom that they do. And so the talking generally starts late sometimes. And again, I'm not pointing fingers or pushing out no one because I made same mistakes. But the talking to and explaining starts a little late. It should actually start during that process when they're taking in all that they're going to take in to adapt to who they're going to be in life, which is from the age of 0 to 7. We should actually start talking to them about things that we think, well, they're just a little kid, they can't understand that. Well, that's bullshit, and we're fooling ourselves, because one thing that I bet you all of us know, and we've all had cute little stories about this, is how a 3 or 4-year-old child will do something to manipulate a situation between their 2 parents. And we look at it and we laugh and we're like, oh, that's so cute. But look at the intelligence of that 3 and 4-year-old child, that they were able to figure something out and manipulate a situation between 2 adults.
Manipulate grown-ups.
Right. Manipulate grown-ups. And this happens on a consistent basis. And we look at it and we laugh. But this shows you the intelligence of that child. And this is something that we haven't been taught. So while we think that these children wouldn't understand at that young age, guess what? They could actually take in a lot more. So the teaching and the talk actually sometimes could start late. We have to change. As a people, we have to change. We have to teach our kids earlier and let them know that they should speak earlier. They should learn earlier. One thing I did with my daughters, and it's been totally successful, is at the ages that people say they're too young to learn, I taught them all about sex and I held no punches. Now I have 2 daughters, black African American daughters that grew up in the fucking hood that are both in college and they're not pregnant with no children. So it's some success there. And it's because I didn't wait till they was 13 and 14. No, they too early to learn about that. No, I talked to them when they was 9, 10. I started talking to them because the reality of the world around us in the hood was it was niggas out there 18, 19 trying to fuck my 10 and 11-year-old daughters. And so if I followed what society told me and I didn't start to educate them earlier, what might have happened? What happened to the girls around us? They might have been knocked up at the age of 12 and life already in a little bit of turmoil starting off early. So we need to start educating and talking to our kids earlier. And that will actually soothe some of these problems because people wait until they're 9 and 10 years old. But guess what? Sometimes that's too late because they've already adapted the rebellion and what they're going to be from the age of 1 through 7. And there's actually studies on this. So, guys, we just got to educate ourselves as parents and learn that there are different ways. And no way is right or wrong. The right way is the best way, no matter how you find it. That's the right.
Well, let me say this, D, real quick before I forget my train of thought, man. All that you said was great, but I think that's preparing them for society. I'm talking about nature. We got to prepare the children, the youth for nature, man. We got to get more in touch with nature, because society always changes, morals always change, but the nature's always the same, bro. The what's it called? The triangle of life, bro. It's always the same. The animals are always the same, man. I think humans have lost touch with nature, man.
Well, that's a true statement. That's kind of off context because that's something that I actually agree with. Like for all of us, that we do need to get more in tune with nature, and as we learn, again, of course, share that knowledge to our children. But that's something different. We were talking about like specifically raising our children here, and I just say that listen, guys, we've all been taught by our surroundings, by our environments, our ancestors, our parents. So we weren't always right. Guess what? Our parents weren't always correct. So things can change and people have to be willing to change. The only difference from me and anybody else is that I was willing to change. I was willing to find another way because I will be perfectly honest, bro. It used to tear me up when I looked down and I saw my kids cry. And so if I feel like if I'm doing something right, I got to the point where I felt like if I'm doing something right, then why the fuck does it hurt so bad? And I mean that shit. Like it used to hurt me to whip my children. And so like if I'm doing something right, why do I feel this way? It don't feel right. So when I stopped, when I put the fucking belt down and never did that shit again, no matter how tough it was, the talks, the time, that shit felt right. It felt right. It didn't feel right to me whooping them, bro. And so I had to stop that.
Yeah, like I said, man, we all raised different, bro. We all grow different, bro. Like I said, I know niggas who never got whoopings in the day in their life and they fucking spoiled as fuck today. And fucking you can't tell them niggas nothing. And like I said, I got two brothers that I can speak for in real life terms that never got their ass whooped. But you can't get them away from my mom's house. You can't. Them niggas is 20-something years old too. So like I said, you can bring up cases either or. You feel me? But at the same time, you feel me? You just gotta move how you feel like your children is gonna take heed to that. You feel what I'm saying? I read
discipline though, Mom. That's the thing. Like,
hey, let me say this real quick.
Real quick, Red.
All
right. Go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna say, and you know what? I mentioned my brother earlier. He's 29 years old and he still lives with his mom. So
right,
we got 3 cases.
This is what I was going
of that right here.
Yeah, this is what I was gonna say about that. Which we touched on this before. I agree with you two guys that there has to be discipline. And those examples, I would assume that there wasn't whippings, but there was also a lack of discipline. So like it still has to be discipline. And so I don't agree with that either.
Nah, with those, my brother, my mom just always feel like my little brother. He not built like I am. He not no hustler. He can't go out there and get it. You got to
Right.
remember, I grew up in the '80s and in the '90s. That was my golden era. So that's when I had to go through the crack era. He first hit in my city, the dope, and I had to go through seeing my pops not home all the time because he was out hustling, being with granny all the time. So I just got a different perspective. I was built, but my
Right.
mom kind of looked at my little brothers like he not built like this. So I gotta carry him. But it's not that you had to carry him. It's just that you didn't allow for him to go through the trials and tribulations that you allow for me to go through. Because I learned from it. I mean, like I told you, it was a point of time you couldn't tell me nothing. No matter how you came at me, I just thought that my way was the way. But life situations and me just going through life is what taught me the difference between right and wrong and telling. I still tell myself this day. Sometimes I wake up and be like, damn, bro, everything Miles taught me was trying to teach me, bro. I should have just listened when she was trying to tell me because nigga, the ass whoopings, you feel what I'm saying? That shit, you feel what I'm saying, got me to look a different way. Like I wasn't looking at my mom beating me like she hate me. I was looking at her as she was beating me, that she loved me and she don't want me to get killed out in the streets. You feel what I'm saying? So and she would talk to a nigga like you don't. I had one of the moms that talk to you while she beating your ass, tell you why she whooping your ass. You feel me? And my mom was crying, nigga, while she was whooping my ass sometimes. My pops too. You feel me? Because like you say, it hurt them inside, but they know that I would rather whoop your ass than have you go out here and get killed and tell myself later that oh I didn't do enough to try to save him. You feel what I'm saying? Because that's the reality that I lived up in. You feel what I'm saying? I lost a lot of
That's the
motherfuckers.
thing, man. That's the thing, gun rights. Me too. Like I mean, I've talked about that with Red Glove and Unbiased, and I talked about that before too. Like me too, bro. Like I just told you, my three oldest grew up in the hood. Nigga, I was a hustler for many years, double digit years in the streets. I'm 44, bro, and when you talk about the era you grew up in, you in my age range. So trust me, bro. I grew up around that too. The thing is, like again, we evolve as people, as humans. Everything is about evolution, experiences, changing, learning, and growing. That's what it's all about, bro. That's what this life journey is about, to grow and change. And point blank, this is how
I get what you're saying. It's a change because my grandma tell me all the time, like you smarter than what your pops was at your age. So
right.
you feel me? I did bust the cycle. You feel what I'm saying? I did bust the cycle. It's just that ain't like I said earlier, ain't no book on how to raise no children. So like you said, we all gonna go through trials and tribulations trying to get it right. We just got to do it the best way possible. You feel me? But we all got the ultimate goal. We all want to see our kids grow up and be successful. So that's the ultimate goal. And as long as that everybody got that ultimate goal as they, are parenting, you feel me? I feel like, you got a genuine heart and you're gonna get there eventually. You feel me? If you stay working at it. Some parents out here give up on their kids. I heard stories in the hood of people leaving their babies in the fucking trash can and shit like that just because they can't deal with life.
I'm a product of it myself, bro. My dad walked out 2 years old. I don't know the man. I don't know how he looked. So it happens. But I will say this: the key to it is that everybody here, we all just gain as much knowledge as we can ourselves about children. Because one thing is for sure, the kids, El Jefe made a good point, and it's something that I studied, and I know it's actually factual. The kids learn so much from 0 to 7 that we need to start communicating real issues with our children earlier. And that will change a whole lot, bro, because it changes the scope and of who they're going to be if they get this information earlier. The kids get the wrong information early, then that's going to scope who they're going to be. You understand what I'm saying? We have to give them the information early. That will help a lot. This is not something that, is opinionated. This can be proven. Like all you got to do is just go research yourself. Kids, their brains, they pick up so much. They adapt to so much so soon. And
that's one of the sectors that we had to learn when I went to my domestic violence class. I mean, not domestic, but the anger management. They call it impulse control. But when you go through impulse control, there's a segment in there where they go across how you teaching your kids and how they a sponge at a certain age. They go into how they neurons work, all that shit, bro. So exactly. I know what you're talking about. That's why I read to my son and shit too.
Yeah,
when I'm reading.
I've researched this for years, bro, and because I was just it was a part of my research of trying to find another way, and so my thing is this: if we speak to our kids more maturely earlier, then they will adapt to that. Trust and believe, man. Trust it. It works. And again, like my 9-year-old daughter's proof, bro. If you guys had a conversation with her, you'd be like, damn, bro, it's like I'm talking to a teenager. But she's only 9. So, yeah. So back to boxing, because I guess El Jefe and those guys got tired of talking about kids, especially El Jefe. He don't like to hear that shit about kids when you are a kid,
Man, you already know I'm always with the real life conversations because at the end of the day,
I'm sorry because I got no opinion.
We all got to live real life. You feel me?
What did you say there, Zaros?
Said I'm silent because I got no opinion on it. I don't have kids, so.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah, that's okay. How old are you, Zaros, if you don't mind me asking?
30.
And you don't have any kids?
No. That ain't for me.
D, I had my first one when I was about 29, 28, 29, around 30. So I waited late, bro.
I had my first one when I was 20, going on 21. So, it is what it is. I did wait till I was 20 though, and I was smashing like a motherfucker before that. I just, I was a little smarter. I mean, when I got 20, I was out there heavy. I was doing drugs and shit and selling drugs and smashing broads raw and all of that shit. You know how it go.
Right.
But yeah. It's funny when it comes to not getting girls pregnant, I was actually smarter as a teenager because I was strapped no matter what. And then I'm
right there with you, bro. I'm right there with you. I was afraid of mom beating my ass more.
Yeah, that's a fact. Yeah. So shit, man. I don't forgot what my next topic was. I had it in my head. We went off into that, man. Boxing talk. Let's open the floor up for some questions real quick. Y'all got some questions, some boxing questions?
Actually, I got something that's kind of interesting.
What's up?
Eddie Hearn's got onto Sky Sports about releasing the AJ and Jarrell Miller gloves are off, and they're probably going to broadcast it too.
Oh wow, really?
Yeah, people have been asking for that since June.
Did they give a date?
No. Who's the one that posted it? Was it Michael Benson?
You got a link?
Michael Benson on Twitter posted it just now.
Oh, okay.
So it'll probably be in the next few days more than anything.
That's what you gotta love about Eddie Hearn, man. He stay working, man. If anybody gonna give us back some type of boxing, I'll bank that it's gonna be Eddie Hearn. I don't see Al Heyman or Bob Arum really doing something before Eddie Hearn. When this shit do die down a little bit and they do get some boxing back, I feel like Eddie Hearn is gonna bring us our first match. Watch.
Yeah, I agree with you. Eddie Hearn, I think he'll be the catalyst for that. I damn sure I agree.
He'll definitely be the first out of a lot of them to do it, and probably the first to do the closed doors event as well.
Nick said he was slapping brothers until he got one pregnant. Yeah, Nick, that's pretty much how it went. Dragonlet said I was the pullout king. Yeah, I feel you, dog. The pullout king. That's a good one. Yeah, bro. Bro, I think Eddie Hearn will definitely be the catalyst for that because, bro, he's innovative. I mean, got to give Eddie Hearn his respect and his props. He's a hardworking motherfucker. That's number one, but he's innovative. He's finding ways to make things happen. So that's what it's about. That's how you change things. That's how you set the standard. You got to be innovative, and Eddie Hearn's definitely that. So.
Eddie is the shit right now, man. Eddie the boss right now. You got to give it up to Eddie, man. He be paying his fighters. He been giving us the best fights. Nigga, the zone was fire last year, bro. From Anui to fucking Regis, my nigga, to Anthony, bro. I'm trying to tell you, man, the zone is where it's at right now. So I feel like I agree with y'all. The green screen shit, I think Eddie Hearn can figure something out. I just feel like, the man above him can give him a little lifeline and make something happen. So maybe the end of May. Right now on my William Hill though, D, it is still got fights scheduled for May, not April, but May. They still got.
I saw that. I was just looking at that. I was just looking at that earlier. They actually have fight schedules from May all the way through fucking August. So yeah, man. I mean, look, they're looking. Look, one thing about I've owned 3 businesses, right? Small businesses, of course, but concepts still stay the same. When business owners, especially big business owners, you can't be pessimistic, bro. You got to be optimistic. You got to look at it as if it's going to go down that way. So they're going to keep pushing things back and just keep being positive about this shit happening, no matter what the outside looks like. They're just going to keep doing that because that's the mindset that you have to have in business. So they're not looking backwards. Those motherfuckers are looking forward, bro.
That's
You know
why I
what I mean?
want them to hurry up and name this Anui and Lopez and Lomachenko. Give us
Yeah.
not even just give us a date, but just fucking broadcast something on fucking Instagram, letting us know that y'all got the fight signed.
They go live in the UK next month as well, which is
you say what?
They go live in the UK for us, which is massive.
Yo, that's gonna be huge, bro. And
I think
shit, we're gonna be watching live here too. Oh, thanks, Tim. Appreciate you, fam. Yeah,
we'll be tuned in for that one. You know, I can't wait for that fight, D. That's my dream fight right there. I can't wait. That's the biggest fight of 2020 I was waiting on was that Loma and Lopez fight.
Bro, at this point, going right, I would fucking watch amateur boxing right now, dog. You know what I mean? I would watch any boxing. I would watch any boxing right now. Like, what the fuck?
I get it.
I'm fucking dying over here, dog. I can't get anything.
I was watching replay golf the other day because I was just like, fuck, I gotta watch me some sports. I've been watching all these goddamn movies. I'm movie the fuck out right now. I'm movie the fuck out.
More TV than I really want to watch. But just being in this house, I mean, you know, I could be an idiot like a lot of these other people out gallivanting around, but I'm just like,
if you gonna go outside on your balcony. You feel me? You ain't gotta go outside all in public and be walking around, motherfuckers. Just step outside, get some fresh air,
and get your ass
smoke your blunt, and get your ass back in the house. That's all it is. It's not hard. You feel me?
Just that simple. So, all right, man. Y'all the last two of the Mohicans, the last man standing. Gun right. Give me some closing thoughts, fam. Get ready to close this thing.
Oh yeah, I did have one question before we go. Who y'all got as y'all top 4 in a row in 168 right now? Because there's been a big question about this on a lot of channels.
You know what? Let's talk about that division. I want to talk about that division before we close this down. My bad. Let's talk about that. I think that that division is pretty competitive. And I don't really care. Outside of Billy Joe Saunders, I can honestly say I don't really care who anybody has at number 1. 1, 2, 3. Me personally, I have Benavidez.
It's your opinion. Your opinion.
Yeah. Me personally, I have Benavidez, Plant, Smith, and BJS. But I honestly think between Benavidez, Plant, and Smith, you could probably argue a case for any of those guys to be number 1 to 3. But if I had to pick, I would go Benavidez, Plant, Smith, and then BJS.
So you keeping the Canelo out of this conversation, right?
No, so I don't count him.
Okay. That's all I wanted to know because a lot of people be trying to put him in there. I'm like, bro, you can't put him in there.
Bro.
He's a wild card. That nigga's a joker out of the stack.
That shit, Rocky Fielding, he be Rocky Fielding, but fuck that. That means that he's a contender. I don't give a fuck if he's a champ. He's just a contender. So if
I got BJS and I got BJS. I mean not BJS. Benavidez. It's hard to, bro. I want to put Caleb Plant at number 2, but just the fact that John Ryder. I mean not John Ryder. Yeah, the John Ryder fight is the only reason why I would switch him with Caleb, but. If that didn't happen, then I would have to put Kalen. But for right now, I guess I could put Plant at number 2 and Smith at number 3, and then BJS at number 4.
Yeah,
but it's all good fights, though. Them is all big fights. I believe those are all big fights.
Zaros, I know you got it a little differently, right? How you got that?
I don't know that division too well, to be honest with you.
Okay. Yeah. Well, they're not really too far apart. Like, I'm not hating on Billy Joe Saunders. I just think that he's the least proven at 168, and I just feel like the other guys got a little more than him. So I'm going to
You
continue.
don't think that? That's facts. You don't think that? That's fact. You're just stating facts. He is the less accomplished fighter
Right.
at 168. That's facts.
So I have to put him at the bottom, but all the three guys, Zaro, I think they're really close. Like, Benavidez shows a lot of potential, but he's young. So you know what I mean. He still got some time. What is like 23? That motherfucker don't have his full man strength yet. So Benavidez still got some time. So I can't just throw him up there. He's still, he's still green. Caleb Plant he's shown a lot. He's proven a lot. So I like Caleb Plant. And Callum Smith as well. Like, come on, man. We can't dump on Callum Smith because of one fight. Every fighter has a bad fight. He had a bad fight against fighter. Who says that?
I just never liked him before that. Like, I never really I watched him fight that African dude. And
I won't go on that. I was saying, like, some people like shitting on
Caleb. Shit on him. Yeah, I give him his credit, bro. I mean, he's a decent 168er. He should be fighting at 175.
Yeah, he's a big boy. So I think
he's way too small for that division.
Yeah. I think all of these guys have their own thing, and they're close in level of competition. We just got to see more from all of them, to tell you the truth. Got to see some more things.
It's just sad, man, that I can't really pick who can actually go in there and give Canelo a run for his money. It's just like hard for me to pick somebody out of those two weight classes.
154 is the same way, bro. There's no clear champion. There's no clear number one at 154 either.
Oh, they playing hot potato over there with the belts. Yeah. They playing straight hot potato right now.
Any of those guys can beat each other to unify the belts at 154. You know what I mean? Like, any of them can beat. So, but look, all right. So good. We touched on that anyway. But I'm gonna shut this one down, bro. We almost 3 hours in. Gun rights. Give me some closing thoughts.
Shit, man, everybody, y'all be safe out there. Same old here in Vegas. You feel me? Hopefully we get these fights back soon. And D, man, thank you for having me on. It's a blessing. I appreciate it, King.
Always.
To all the kings in the chat, man. To Zoros, peace out, man. You be safe wherever you at. You feel me? And I'll catch y'all on the next one.
All right, fam. Appreciate you coming on. Zaro's 2 times. Give me some closing thoughts, fam.
First of all, thanks for letting me come and chop it up for a bit. And everybody keep safe and stay indoors and wash your nasty asses.
Well, yeah, no doubt. Do that. And you always welcome, Zaro's 2 times. Appreciate you coming on.
I appreciate that. Take it
easy. Right, man. So, hey, I appreciate all you guys in the chat, man. It's always good little conversation we have here on Sports Talk, Life Talk, man. Look, my closing thoughts is this. Don't beat your kids. Don't beat them. Talk to them, people. Talk to them early and often. Y'all know how I always end this thing. For the love of sports, let's talk about it. Peace.